Do-ba-da-do-do-do-do. We are here with some Raging Loop, minus a shit ton of flies. What up? I apologize for lack of everything yesterday. I say lack of flies, one fucking just shows up and decides, I'm gonna fuck with you! Fuck you! No. Just took a shower, so I'm feeling refreshed. Nah, we've, nearly all the flies yesterday got killed. But we're good for the most part, but I say nearly because I need to, I guess, rescent the cider. Because, like, majority of where the infestation was has been dealt with. That's all fine and dandy. Everything on the left side of this room is good. Everything around my computer, though, and my TV is pretty bad still. I say pretty bad. It's not, like, terrible, but it's still meh. But I tried putting the concoction and everything near the computer. While it should do something, I think the scent, I think there's just a strong scent, is what I'm assuming draws them in. And since I haven't been going to it when it's on my computer, I'm just going to assume that it's because they can't smell it or some shit. I don't know. But hopefully we don't need to worry about things flying around. We're just going to do 3 to 4 hours of Raging Loop. So we're here, and I apologize for ending off the stream first early on Monday, but also I apologize for not even streaming yesterday. Yesterday was a bad day for a lot of reasons. But anyway, we're going to figure out if we're killing Mochi, Hashimoto, and Yasunaga. So here's the thing. Yasunaga is probably being protected. Hashimoto will get us killed. Mochi, I think keeping Mochi alive is probably the right idea. I don't think we want to kill Hashimoto. Maybe we want to kill Yasunaga. I don't know. This one's a weird one. Because, like, there's 3 different options. I think we're going to start with Yasunaga and see where that takes us. So before we do anything, if this says 342, so this would be 351, then we need to go back. I named some we had to kill today and provided some advantages of doing that. I hope they would understand, but why the laugh? I'm sorry, Fusashi-san. You seem to have given this a lot of thought, but I put it to waste. No, she didn't. Did you touch the door? The only door that wolves could open was the first one we touched. Yes, I couldn't have survived another delay. She'd finally gone out of control. We wolves could fall to a single betrayal, so unity was even more important for us than the humans, and yet she'd done this. Then again, maybe it was all my own fault. Oh, doesn't even matter. Sick, okay. I made killing your sons the foundation of our alliance. Whose door did you touch? Yasunaga, we didn't get him yesterday after all. This night I went to the dorm right after waking up before you two even left. Was it unlocked? Yes, I'm sure of it. I even opened it up a bit. That was good enough, then. If we had to kill Yoshitsugu-kun, I'd have had to rethink my plans. Haruchan was looking at me. She was asking if this wasn't the right time. Yeah, there was no guarantee that she could spend a whole day like a proper wolf after Yasunaga-kun died. In that case, Kuri-san, I have a favor to ask you. What is it? Can you die tomorrow? We would get rid of her. Didn't we agree that I would die after I killed both of my sons? Kuri-san, think about it yourself. Could you spend the entirety of tomorrow like a proper mother who lost her child, perfectly hiding the fact that you did it yourself? Don't you think you would kill your Shitsugu-kun right away to find peace? He's a fucking lunatic. It'd be too hard for you, right? You already done something without our knowledge tonight. You're not wrong there. Well, I don't mind dying and finding peace, but don't worry, we will kill your Shitsugu-kun even if we end up losing. Alright, so I'll be hanged tomorrow. That'd help us a lot. I can only hope she pulled it off well. We then talked about how we would go about it. Then we returned to the dorm. And killed Yasunaga Uribe. Damn. Well, I guess we chose anyway. Like we all agreed, they were the ones to do it this time. They used whatever farming tools they could find outside. They were too rusty to make any clean cuts, so they had to stab him with a pickaxe and crush him with a hammer too. In the end, the body was barely recognizable as human, just like with Takumi-san. Then the real difference was when we had to stop Curry-san, who was bashing the remains while laughing maniacally. Sounds about right. She's fucking insane, lady. That was the end. After calming her down in the dining hall, I reminded her what she'd have to do tomorrow. Don't tell them about us, deny having killed him, be as emotional as possible. And I'm supposed to argue against you. I guess this is the last time we'll treat each other as allies. Thank you for everything. I really didn't deserve gratitude. Kari-san, thank you. We'll fulfill our promise. The two villains said their goodbyes to the insane mother. What an understatement. They both felt strangely defeated, yet respectful of her. True. Kari-san's gonna die, huh? Yeah. Serves her right. Anyone who feels sympathy for Yomibito is a traitor. I don't have to think stuff like that, right? Yep. I don't like how she acts like a good person. I don't need anyone like her on my side. You don't have to think that way either. It's fine. I'd cried otherwise, and that's too exhausting. You can do that too if you want. You can ignore anything binding your mind and body. That's the privilege of being evil. What were you outside, Haraki? A preacher? Not telling. That's a secret of mine. Will you tell me if we leave this place? I'll think about it. How would I live after getting out? I wonder. I don't have any money. Would you help me out? You'd be fine with just a bit of money? I also need a place to stay and a job. I'll help you whatever way I can. Honestly, I'm not sure if we'll even be able to stay in Japan. We might even have to cooperate and escape. Yeah, right. It'd be way easier for you to escape on your own, right? Are you just being nice to me, or are you actually falling for me? As a cybernetic put the other day, she's 15, dude. No. Which is the right answer? If you say it's a latter, I'm saying you're lying. I mean, it's not like women are hard for you to find, right? What's this? I thought you were more reserved. Since when was that something you like talking about? I'm interested in it too, after all, but I don't know what to do about it. I don't want Nichan to hate me. You liked him, right? What does that mean anyway? I didn't want him to hate me, like being with him, and I wanted to try kissing him and stuff. Alright, choose Harbor Kush. That's more than enough. Isn't it a more special feeling, like the only one in the world? Or aren't you innocent? Yeah, I won't say that there are people who feel a special sort of love. Isn't that what's normal? I don't know about normal, but with marriage at least, it's more like, I guess this person will do fine. Damn. Okay. Great, thanks for ruining my dreams. Really? I'd say that being able to live together with someone is pretty exciting. Did you ever live with a girl like that? I did. You think it's indecent? Well, I won't deny that there was a dirty side to it. Indecent, huh? I became a wolf, killed people, got blood on my hands, and even turned into a villain. And honestly, becoming filthy really wasn't a big deal. I'm glad you're not chasing me with a stick anymore, at least. Sorry about that. Well, it was an accident, a natural disaster, Hurricane Mochi. Ugh, I'm actually kind of mad now. Why? I want you to be unexpectedly pure. No one's pure, Haru. No one's pure. What the hell? Would you kiss me if I asked you? No. So I'm not attractive, huh? You actually turned out to be way more attractive than I originally thought. What the hell? That's kind of mean. I mean, that in a good way. You're fun and interesting, and that's always been the deal breaker for me. But that's exactly why I can't do it. Warped affection will get in the way. Also, she's 15, though I thought she was 17, but maybe she is 15. Warped? It is warped. We'd be criminals licking each other's wounds. That's appropriate for a pair of villains, right? Isn't that like Bonnie and Clyde? Well, where are your arguments now, villain? How much of that was you? Fair point. Who knows, but it seems like this girl's ready to take you in. Can you give it a try, You're fine with that? Of course, a flourishing bloodline is always good, even if the child is out of a villain. That certainly is a own manner of excitement. Perhaps if the evil you speak of mixes with myself, we might be able to bring down the detestable Great Lord Shinai. Well, do you wish to lay with me? I sprinkled some water around us and slapped her. Get a grip, Haru-chan. Don't let her do what she wants. Ow, what are you doing? Tomorrow's feast is going to be rough. Let's get some rest. Good night. I don't think that I like you or anything, but I'm not just saying whatever comes to mind here. You taught me about evil, and I feel like there's even more that I can learn from you. I'm serious about that. Good night. Crap. She was becoming more and more my type of girl. No, Jimmy. Jimmy. Maybe also Kaku. What up, Cybernetic? More boundaries? True. However, I also didn't want to feel even worse about my memories of events that never happened in this timeline. So really, our choice did not matter. That's fucking hilarious. Saturday. Day 5. This was the first time I've ever gotten this far. True, this is the longest it's lasted. If it lasts more than 3 weeks, call a doctor. To kill 16 participants without any intervention by the corruption, the wolves needed about 7 days. All the wolves were still alive, but that would change today. The humans could go on the offensive too. Something would happen today. Could I really survive this? Along with one of the wolves? It's not a perfect victory, but we can get damn close. The one who found Yasunaga Oribe's body was his brother. Without the elders around, he'd taken it upon himself to patrol in the morning. Finding his brother's remain like that must have been traumatizing, and I thought that was one of those responsible. Naturally, he went crazy. Unlike when he lost his mother, he wasn't crying. Who did it? Who the fuck killed Aniki? His brother's death made him more angry than sad. He picked up a stick and swung it around with absurd ferocity. He charged at everyone indiscriminately and thought no one was hurt. And though no one was hurt, we all had to hide in our rooms for a while. The one to stop him was, of all people, Hashimoto-san. He was the only one who didn't lock himself up. I understand how you feel. Whether in accidents or war, your pain is shared by all those who lose family. But the real battle will begin shortly, in the hall. No matter what happens, this will be a tragedy for you. But facing it head-on is the manly thing to do, right, Yoshitsugu Oribe-kun? You must know this already. Fuck! He threw the stick on the ground and that was that. It took some serious guts to face an armed delinquent and talk him down. This was our enemy. Yasunaga! Her son was acting like, no, she was crying for real. To her, the murder was his liberation from this harsh world, but it was also the end for them as mother and son. When you focused on that fact, it came as no surprise that the tears she shed were authentic. I also made her kill him as thoroughly as possible, so there was that. Yeah, that kind of would fuck her up. Anyway, this was no time to have breakfast, and Yoshitsugu-kun insisted that we start the feast right away, so that's what we did. Time for the 5th one. It's slowly diminishing. So one of these two are dying next. Sorry, Kunosuke or Mochi. Yoshitsugu-sama, divine sake. No. You need it to repel the corruption. I said no. Then let us begin the feast. The old hag was a goddamn human. Angry like hell, he stood up and shouted that at me. We've got so few people left, so why haven't any of you hit a wolf yet? Say something, you lunatic. Those were just the results I was given. Oh yeah, then who'd you look into this time? If you say you hit a human again, I swear I'll kill you. I found a wolf. Everyone present wore a poker face. Their feelings are completely unreadable. Say it then, who's the wolf? Telling you, say it. I put on a burdened expression. If I was a human, it would have been extremely hard for me to accept that my employer and the one who helped me more than anyone else here was a wolf. What? Say it! To think she would kill her own son. No way, I'll fucking kill you. If killing me will change the truth, then do it, Yoshitsugu Oribe. Yes, Kari Oribe is a wolf. You're lying. I'm not. This has to be some sort of mistake. Look at the state she's in. No, Sato-sama, if that is not true, it would mean that either you and I are wolves. What? The people still alive are. There are 4 unconfirmed humans. Take away Meiko-chan, you got 3. 2 of them are wolves. No, with Yamawaki-san gone, we filtered out more than enough. Without Meiko-chan, we have 4 unconfirmed humans. Only one of them can be human. I know I'm a human, so it has to be the remaining 3. No nonsense, I'm human too. And so am I. Mom, say something. Tell him that you're human. Of course. I would never kill Yasunaga. Damn right, who the hell's the wolf? It's her, buddy. It's all your fault. Kuri-san quickly grabbed Haru-chan. What? Huh? She was completely shocked for a second. You did this because you couldn't have Yasunaga, didn't you? Not the way I expected her to go. Oh, so she was making a mess of things. What do you think your son is? You're so obsessed that... What? Say it. You're so obsessed with your son that you've gone completely insane. You brat, take this. Right before things turned bloody, the others jumped in and stopped them. Of course, they were in no situation to continue the scene. Their act, which was mostly sincere, left everyone stunned. Oh man, what a fight. I'll still say it though. Sorry for suspecting you, Yasun's mom. The one with the weakest reaction to the event, Mochi, said the line least fitting the situation. You did it, didn't you? Weren't you friends? How could you feel that way about the death of a friend? She was basically attacking everyone now. It worked to show that she was a victim, but also made her a nuisance, just like Tei Yamawaki. She was doing what we agreed on. Well, I didn't expect this to happen, so it's not that shocking. Kamoshida, I already know you're fucking insane, so just shut up. Yoshi, think about it. If one of the wolves wanted to kill Yasu, Mami Kari would have stopped them, even if she had to stab them. Since this happened, it means she's actually approved of it. Don't talk like she's a wolf. Can you all shut up for a second? Everyone only fell silent because they were tired of making loud noises. Still, silence was silence. What is it, lunatic? You already said your piece, right? And now I want to hear what the level-headed people have to say. With a tired voice, I said that, hiding my face. Yudai Hashimoto-san, I want to hear what you think. Now this is unexpected. You're actually letting me talk. You talk sooner or later anyway. Cricketers might as well give him the floor now to avoid a more decisive play from him later. I won't say anything that's useful to you. I have no clue what you mean. That makes this a bit harder. You're not confident? I'm about 70% certain. That's more than enough. Very well, I'll say it. Apologies, but I think we should make Fusashi-kun the sacrifice for today. Fuck. He went and said it. However, it's not like I have enough to proclaim with certainty that he is a wolf. Why? I will present a few possibilities now. Damn, he grewed. First, Fusashi-kun is the real snake, Oribe-san is a real wolf, as are 2 of the 4 remaining. That was how we operated until now, and so far, we haven't had a single wolf. We have one today. Yes, because I threatened you yesterday. That was his story, huh? Fuck. And now, like Yu-chan said, could there really be wolves among the 4 remaining? I worry that the answer is no. Then, let's set that possibility aside and consider a few others. These ones are only possible if someone who claims to have a guardian actually isn't one. Does everyone understand that? At this point, only Mako-chan didn't. First of all, let's look at the possibility of the monkeys, me and Chikamochi-kun, being liars. This is extremely unlikely. We revealed ourselves when everyone was still alive, and no one came out to deny it, and since we could vouch for each other, monkeys are good, we get it, move on. Next is the possibility that the crow is lying. He revealed himself on the 3rd day, 2 days ago. By that point, we'd lost the old man who cried wolf, Muro-san, and Serizawa-san. It's not impossible that the crow was among them, that's why no one spoke up against him. Or maybe the real ones saw the fake's reveal as a trap, and didn't know what to do, as coming out would lead to the wolves killing him. And they eventually died, having never revealed themselves. However, the ones who died since then were Makashima-san, Yamawaki-san, and today's Yasunaga Oribe-kun. This is just an assumption, but I believe these 3 would have revealed themselves before they died, or rather, right after Yoshitsugu-kun came out as a crow. Basically, it wasn't impossible that his intense reveal was just a bluff. If the crow was a fake, then there could have been real wolves among the ones who were lynched. The old man who cried wolf, Hanzo Makashimashi, Tei Yamawaki-san. There could be more than one too. I didn't lie, the old folks who got hanged were all humans. And finally, the possibility that the snake, Haruaki Fusashi-kun, is a fake. Here we go. He revealed himself on the 3rd day, so the conditions were the same for Yoshitsugu-kun. However, we declare that Muro-san, Yasunaga-kun, and Hara Makashima-san are humans, and the only one still alive is Makashima-san. Haruchan looked at the floor and fell silent. Muro-san and Yasunaga-kun proved their innocence by being killed. However, that isn't enough to prove that Fusashi-kun is innocent. A full snake can still tell the truth after all. Because the wolves supposedly know who the other wolves are, right? Exactly. Oh, one more thing. It's also possible that both Fusashi-kun and Yoshitsugu-kun are liars. But I find it really unlikely that 2 with guardians were dead on the 3rd day, and they happened to replace them both. Well, unlikely or not, it's not impossible. But anyway, what do you think is the safest thing to do here? Saying everybody's shady? That's one option, but it would take too much time. Let's think about what to do today. Get to the point, fatty. Damn. Yoshitsugu, are you actually... No, I'm a human. The crow, damn it. Yoshitsugu-kun, stop being so aggressive, and Hashimoto-san, you should get to the point. Everyone's hungry and stressed. Apologies, then let me say it. I do believe that Yoshitsugu-kun is most likely the real crow. Huh? And I believe that Takumi Muro-san had a guardian of some sort. Takumi? Yes, after all, he said that he couldn't die yet. He noticed it too, huh? It also looked to me like he had to say something to say. The wolves could have noticed that too. That's not very conclusive, is it? I can't deny that, but finding hard evidence during the feast is difficult. Therefore, we must consider the possibility that the wolves made some observations, acted based on what they saw, and succeeded. Yoshitsugu-kun really doesn't seem like that type of person. He doesn't look like he could calmly observe people and act convincingly enough to pretend to have a guardian. Are you saying that that's the kind of person I am? That's a personal attack. Do you think I'm a chameleon or something? In a different situation, it'd be a compliment. Anyway, the thing I'm worried about the most is whether or not he's the real one. If he's a fake, then Hara Makashima-san could be a wolf too. And it would be possible that Kori Oribe-san is being framed. Everyone turned a suspicious eye at me. Crap, Kuri-san's tragic mother act was working too well. Everyone wanted to believe her more than me. If we keep acting based on his investigations, we would have to kill Kaori Oribe-san, then 2 or 3 more people. Then, there would be a need to start suspecting whether Yoshitsugu Oribe-kun was fake or not. During that time, the wolves would kill as many people as we did. It would be too late, and that's what I'm worried about. So pardon me, but that's why I want Fusashi-kun to sacrifice himself for us. We'll know if he's real based on Yoshitsugu-kun's power. And if he is, we would lynch Kaori Oribe-san and try to corner the other 2. And if he's fake, we would have to start suspecting Haru Makishima-san, who he claimed was a human. No, stop! I honestly don't know if we would win with this. In the end, it would most likely be a matter of luck. However, if we let him do as he pleases and let him create groups that should and should not be suspected at will, we would find ourselves with a problem we can't solve. He'd have already done his job as someone who determined who did and didn't have to be suspected. If he's really a human, I believe he should really sacrifice himself for us. Damn, what a tough position to put Haraki in. He's good. He's really good. I like Hashimoto. He's the final boss, and we lost. Oh, I expected something like this. It seems reasonable, but really wasn't. It seemed kind, but really wasn't. Even so, winning against him wouldn't be easy. His guardian, position, appearance, and impression he'd given everyone were too powerful to overturn. Was the best angle of attack through logic or emotion? I decided I would simply be myself. I have a counter-argument. Is this another... I just want to see. Yeah, it's the second one. I have a counter-argument. Yes. You underestimate the value of numbers. Everyone, Hashimoto included, seemed confused. I quickly began to explain. I'll explain on paper. Look. I prepared an inkstone, got some water, and dipped the writing brush in it to soften it up. I watched Rokako-san do this before. I then melted the ink, prepared some paper, and began writing. Chikamochi Kamoshida, monkey. Yudai Hashimoto, monkey. Yoshitsugu Oribe, crow. Araki Fusashi, snake. Haru Makishima, human. Kaori Oribe, wolf. Kionosuke no Sato, Rikako Uematsu, Meiko, and Sakumiya. This is our current state. The circles are confirmed humans, while the 4 triangles are the self-proclaimed and those I investigated. If you trust all the triangles, there are 5 possible wolves and 5 humans, a complete tie. The humans will hang the suspects, while the wolves will kill the confirmed humans, so it will always be a tie. Understand? Everyone nodded. I appreciated that. In this situation's worst-case scenario, specifically if we don't find any wolves besides Kaori-san and let them do as they please, you would soon have an equal amount of humans and surviving wolves. That would assure the humans' defeat. Because they won't be able to get a majority when voting? Yes, and I looked at Meiko. She looked worried all day long, but when our eyes met, she became moody. What was that all about? If we keep Meiko alive, it's very likely that she would vote with the wolves. But what? You're a dummy, a poopy dummy. Damn. Meiko fucking things up. A few hid their face, stifling laughs, surely. Regardless, based on their reactions to how she responded, they were all clearly concerned that she was the Badger. I didn't want to kill her, but it could be inevitable this time. Damn, are we getting a child killed? That's fucked up. If that happened and the wolves became wolves plus Meiko, the humans' defeat would be confirmed. If we don't hang either Meiko or Wolf today, we would instantly be in that situation. Assuming you and Yoshitsugu-kun are real. That's the scenario I'm referring to, yes, and I realize that's what most of you are worried about. Listen, everyone, I know for sure that if we don't kill a wolf today, the human's defeat is sealed. When you hang me and find out I'm human, it'll all be too late. Hashimoto-san is certain that I'm suspicious and suggesting that you hang me so you can see it as he does. But the choice between believing me and believing him is a choice between life and death. You might trust him more than you do me. Are you aware of the weight this decision carries? Can you trust in the idea that has led you to such a fork in the road? Silence. Damn, we're hitting good strides today. If you let me live and hang Kaori-san, and if I live tomorrow, I'll reveal another human or wolf. If we know who all the humans besides Meiko are, human victory would be assured. If I find another wolf, I would have to survive another day, but after that again, human victory would be certain. 3 people would be hanged, 2 would be killed, and with that, this massacre would be over. All you have to do is trust me and let me live. Hashimoto-san, his logic seems sound, but what do you think? Oh dear, I accidentally counted Meiko-chan as a human, and I'm the one who mentioned the Badger. You don't trust me, but don't you think you should let me live at least one more day? No, I don't, actually. Why? What you're saying is basically that the wolves have 4 votes, and we have to lower that number. We don't know who the wolves are. If we believe you, it's Oribe-san. But if we don't, it's not her, but you. You are self-aware enough to understand that you're also pushing them into a grave choice that could kill them, right? What a counterattack. I am completely certain that she is a wolf. On all accounts. On literally every account fucking possible, she is a wolf. Not just because Araki's a wolf, but because, like, literally, even if he was a snake, he knows she is a wolf. My confidence in your idea is 70%, mine is 100. But the same can't be said about the rest. We probably already noticed it, but there's a way to prevent the humans' defeat today, and one everyone would accept. It's lynching Mako-chan. Holy shit, he's the one who says it? He's the one? Everyone slowly looked at the girl. Bah! Holy shit. What a fucking counterplay! He wasn't wrong. It was hard to accept, but yeah. But it was also something we wolves would have to do to emerge victorious. Also, if we had her die at this feast, we could have Kuroi-san with us for another day. No, that wasn't good. Kuroi-san had to die today. She could go out of control, and on top of that, if I didn't prove my legitimacy as a snake, Hashimoto's argument would see me killed tomorrow. Wait, there's nothing we would learn from killing the little girl. If she really is the badger, the crow would only find out that she was a human. The snake would reveal another one of us, but the truth would still be a mystery. Isn't that ultimately just putting off the same decision? Well, there's no guarantee that the snake would survive this night. In fact, it's very unlikely. Aren't we already in a situation where our fates are outside of our hands? No need to be pessimistic yet. The spider could still be alive. I see. If the spider protects Fusashi-san, the snake would survive the night. And we could hear what Hasan has to say tomorrow and decide whether to hang him then. And it'd help Yoshi too, so maybe we should really hang Mako-chan. What a fucking twist. He was the only one to whom today's vote would have a different meaning. He had a choice between believing the snake or Yudai Hashimoto and his mother. Wait, are you really going to kill this little girl? What's the difference at this point? We already killed 3 people. What a sentence. What is happening? This game is insane. We don't even know why she's siding with the wolves. Shouldn't we try talking to her first? Mako, you must not believe the wolves. I hate you. Get a grip, Mako-chan. You're a human. If you side with the wolves, they'll kill you. I won't die. Hey, Mako, will you really help the wolves? You big dummy. I couldn't get a read on her at all. I mean, she is a kid. Why was I the only one she was so antagonistic to? Probably because she knows. She's probably, like I said, a god. Ba is what May, so she's basically Sheepno's girl. Yeah, no, I was about to say. But, like, I think Mako's, like, also a god. Like, Haru has a god in her, which sounds weird. Mako's a god, and then somebody else here is also a god, and it's probably Chiemi. So. Crap, they could just believe me. Hanging Kuroi Oribe really would remove a wolf. That would make me more trustworthy, since the crow would reveal his mother's identity, and everyone would accept the tragic truth. Failure meant death. This wasn't a case of high risk, high reward. It was all or nothing. A matter of life and death. However, I really was out of options here. Allow me to suggest something. I already used up all the info I had and said everything I could. First, let's choose between whether we hang Mako, or either Fusashi-kun or Oribe-san. The former is a time extension, while the latter is a choice between victory and defeat. Keep that in mind when choosing. If the former wins, we simply do it. If the latter wins, we vote on whether we hang Fusashi-kun or Oribe-san. Wait, we can't vote for anyone else? If we let the vote spread out, the wolves can take control by voting together. We can't lose a single human right now. He didn't have to worry about that. After all, both suspects were wolves. However, his emphasis on how heavy the choice would be probably made everyone partial to hanging Mako. What was I to do next? How would I deal with the aftermath of killing Mako? I know, right? Another thing, it's already kind of happening, but I think you should be in charge right now. If no one objects, certainly. As if anyone would. Let's hold the first vote. Uematsu-san, if you please. Uraki-sama, the brush, please. I gave it back to her. With that, I've been reduced to a mere suspect. Damn, went from leading to not. Now, those of you who want to lynch Mako-chan, please. Wait. What is it, Kuroi-san? You're all planning to hang Mako, aren't you? Everyone looked at each other. That was probably the consensus, but no one understood why she was asking that. Is there a problem with that? That just won't do. I won't be able to die. Crap. She went insane. A moment later, she jumped up and faced Yoshitsugu-kun. Then I'll kill you, Yoshitsugu. Oh no. She then extended her hands before her. What? Die like Yasunaga did. She reached for her son's neck. The next moment, she was blown away. Damn. Hashimoto-san tackled her as fast as he could. It was incomparable to Takumi-san's tackle from last time. Weight and momentum was on a whole other level. Do you do sumo? American football. Smart, charismatic, and strong, huh? The guy just had no weaknesses at all. But, well, hey, what are you doing to her? Get away, you fool. Huh? Rikako-san, get the rope. I'll hold her down. Everyone was calm. They all methodically handled the sudden threat. Kuroi Oribe lost consciousness and was tied up. Everyone started the vote without her. The only one who voted to hang Mako was Yoshitsugu Oribe. Thus, we moved on to the final vote. Araki Fusashi only got votes from Yoshitsugu Oribe, and Mako. Carrie Oribe got the remaining 7. Everyone calmly decided to lynch Carrie Oribe. Oh, we got saved! Yoshitsugu, please, I beg with you, die with me. She wailed those and similar things all the way to the hanging pine. The tackle left her with a few broken bones and dislocated joints, so she couldn't stand by herself anymore. Thus, Hashimoto-san had to carry her under his arm. Yoshitsugu-kun was with us too, but only because Haru-chan was dragging him along. He looked like his soul had left his body. It seemed like he wanted to avoid looking into her eyes or hearing her voice. As someone who pushed something like this on Fusashi-kun, I have to take responsibility. Kori Oribe-san, I am sorry for making this hard for you. Yoshitsugu! With the noose on her neck right before she was thrown into the mist, she stopped screaming and looked at me. There was no madness in her eyes. Her mind was clear. I felt like this was her way of telling me to fulfill my promise. Fall. Quiet shriek. Oh dear. I killed a person. Why does he look so calm? Oh shit, I killed somebody. Oh well. He made that simple and extremely belated observation. The son, now both an orphan and an only child, collapsed to his knees. What a fucking sentence! Holy shit. Kari-san, she kept her promise. Most of that, no, all of it may have been an act. If she hadn't done that, it was likely that Mako would have been hanged, and tomorrow it would have been my turn. I was both thankful and apologetic to her. After all, I couldn't fulfill my promise yet. Without its owner, the dining hall had become an extremely empty place. It felt like its soul had left this world, or like its mind was elsewhere. It was noon, yet no one had eaten anything yet. I volunteered to make something, but Kiyonosuke said that they couldn't trust me yet, so I refrained. The one who picked up the responsibility was Hashimoto-san. He could cook too? As it turned out, not really. He just made some plain vegetables boiled with some basic seasonings. It wasn't anything delicious. Aha! There is something he's bad at! He wasn't perfect. He was simply a human who was a bit more fearsome than the rest. We couldn't leave the dining hall for the whole day. Yoshitsugu-kun wanted to be alone, but the poor guy wasn't even granted that. With the state he was in, everyone was worried that he would pull something, so they didn't make an exception even for him. How can a doting mother like that kill her own son? He said that when he went to the bathroom. It was an extremely normal question from a normal person. If Chami was alive, she'd have probably said something like, "No one can resist God." I can now vaguely understand those words. The thing binding the people of Yasumizu, the thing lying dormant within Haru-chan. It felt like it was closer than ever, just beyond the mist. Of course, no one answered Mamiya-san's question. There was something I wanted to ask Mochi. It wasn't something I could ask in public, though, and I didn't get a chance to have a secret chat with him. There are still people who are wary of you, so I will testify that you went back home and stayed there. When it was time to call it a day, he put some pressure on me. You're the one who's wary of me. Maybe. Who knows? How great would it be if all my worries were baseless? I agreed with him on that. He was right about a lot of things. However, he couldn't leverage it well, and this was despite his persuasiveness and connections. Why'd he lose? One of the reasons was underestimating the madness controlling Yasumizu and the unity the wolves shared. And another reason was my ability to cheat. Death looping. We fucking cheat! Looking back at it, I made it this far despite failing to kill Yasunaga-kun once. I couldn't have cleared this game in one go if I didn't have the ability to use trial and error. Even so, the end was near. Dusk. We're killing Yudai Hashimoto. We found the opportunity to kill him and we took it. The process was the same as always. Damn, that was fast. We used the nearby farming tools to cut, stab, and crush him thoroughly. I wanted a more effective method, honestly. That was probably why Yasunaga-kun killed Takumi-san with a gun the first time around. However, I didn't want the method to give me away, and I wanted to prevent any dying messages like the one Chemi had falsified in that previous loop. Making an absolute mess of the body seemed like the most reasonable method. Was that thought born of madness? Of course it was. It was pure insanity. I ran circles in my mind to try and keep it stable enough to make at least somewhat rational decisions. Tearing apart the mountain of flesh was extremely hard work. Once done with it, Haru-chan and I went back. Our discussion for what we do tomorrow was simple. Yoshitsugu-kun would use his crow powers to prove that Kari-san was a wolf. That would prove that I was the real snake. We'd hang a random somebody tomorrow and use the night to finally get rid of the crow. The day after tomorrow, there would be 6 people left. With the badger on our side, we'd have 3 votes. Is Mako really the badger? Yes, but also she hates Haruaki, so we literally are still down on vote. Most likely, though, not sure if she'd actually betray the humans if we revealed that we're the wolves. Why is she so antagonistic toward me? She's a maiden. Huh? Nothing, but I think it'll be alright. But to be sure, we should depend on something more reliable. Yeah, exactly. We should kill Rokako Uematsu or Kiyonosuke no Sato and use the night to kill Mochi, right? You okay? I'm used to it. Boy, have I changed. Actually used to killing now. Okay. I wonder if I'll be able to live a normal life after this. You could atone for your sins or whatever. You're still underage. Would you be facing capital punishment? I don't know, though I doubt they'd think it was involuntary manslaughter. Then let's run away. We talked about that yesterday, right? The sin is the same either way. Is it now? We'll meet again no matter what, right? Sorry, let me rephrase that. I'll be with you no matter what. She was making less and less sense to me. Don't say that you've fallen for me. It's uncool. Don't worry, I won't. It's uncool. Huh, wow. I'd set her on the path of evil. Scolding her for something now was extremely uncool. I won't say it if it will bother you. Hey, you should just do what you want. That's one of the perks of being evil. I'll just do what I want. Good. How about a kiss? As long as she doesn't show up. Surprisingly formal, are we? And then when's your chance? You're so stingy. We parted ways. Damn. The god wants to kiss us. The god wants to kiss us, but she's an underage girl body, and that's not good. We don't like that. It was all smooth sailing from here. Yudai Hashimoto was dead, and Kori-san, the most problematic wolf, ended up leaving the stage in the best of ways. All that was left was some throwaway feasts. I thought we were on a roll, and soon discovered how naive I was. So what happened? Why are we naive? What happened? Hashimoto-san! Strangely enough, Miya-san didn't lose her composure upon seeing the pile of gore Hashimoto-san was reduced to. She stood frozen in place and her voice was shaking, but that was it. The image of a woman trying to bear the shock and pain was both beautiful and moving. It seemed disingenuous to say that, considering I was the one responsible for her suffering, but I couldn't help how I felt. However, what she did next sent a chill down my spine. She ignored Hashimoto-san's body and walked over to a shirt Hashimoto-san had left lying in a corner of the hut. She moved the shirt to the side, exposing a camera. Were we recorded? Had he planned this with Miya-san ahead of time? There's no split? Hold on, there's no split here? It got recorded. What? I hadn't taken any precautions against that. While dismantling the body, we'd even talked to each other. She skillfully manipulated the camera. To have to destroy it now? No, I'd have no excuse for that. The charade would be over. Maybe we could try going wild like Chimi and Mochi did? What was the point of that? I had to survive. If I went wild by myself, Haru-chan would... Again, what would be the point of that? She was just a girl you'd find anywhere. She got into a different situation, accepted a difficult reality, and learned from it just like anyone would. Even though it was hardly a normal form of growth, it was charming and beautiful to us men. That much was obvious, but was it worth protecting with my own life? That question had to be answered with a no. However, I turned around and looked at Haru-chan, standing at the edge of the group. She had a knife in her hand. Yeah, she was ready. She's ready to kill. I slightly shook my head. After a moment of hesitation, she returned it back to the murder scene. It was a foldable knife covered in blood belonging to Hashimoto-san. I'd picked it up and used it when we were dismantling the body. No, that didn't mean anything to us. If I hadn't turned around, Haru-chan have surely went wild on her own. She was obviously going to protect me like that, even if it meant getting herself hanged. Oh man, I really liked that, but I finally found the theoretical justification for scolding her properly. Up until this point, I still thought it was important to consider what I'd do with her after the feast was over. I felt responsible for promoting her growth and making sure the evil girl blossomed properly. We're promoting evil and villains. I love it! So we're screwed, right? In the end, though, the emergency before us was no emergency at all. No good. A fixed camera? That's pretty bold. What did it show? Nothing, just the body. She threw the camera to me. I checked, and apparently it was a 2-hour-long record starting at 9 in the evening. The wolves' work started at 10. Hashimoto-san was as sharp as always. He even got the time right. I played the footage back, and like she said, it just showed a body. It was supposed to show him alive at the start, then show us the wolves' outfits come at about 10 and start committing the murder. However, the video only showed him out in a flesh and bone, lit up by the electric light. Was the time within which the wolves worked cut off from the rest of the world? Interesting. Control through sleep, transformation through the real story, miscorruption, death loops, and digital video problems. Was all this connected to God? In this timeline, I gained a bunch of important info that brought me closer to the truth. But I need more keys! They gave me a bad feeling, though. What if the truth and the subject of fear were one and the same? What if I never reached the truth? Limitless mystery meant limitless fear. And now it gets smaller. Mom was a wolf. Everyone reacted with relief or surprise. Yoshitsugu-kun and I had reached the same conclusion. He seemed like the real thing, and it was hard to believe both of us were wolves. That meant that I told the truth, making me the real snake. I found another wolf today. It's Kiyonosuke no Satoshi. Thus, my lies would work. What? Can't be, I'm human. I say what it is, Haraki Fusashi, you are a wolf all along. That was why his overreaction seemed like the pathetic struggling of a wolf. All that was left for me to do was lie until the end. I'm not lying. Yeah, he said the truth. I see, so you got rid of one of the wolves just so you could survive. Rokako-san, you're no wolf, are you? No, I am not. Miss Mamiya, well, they both looked at each other with suspicion. There were only 2 wolves left, Kyonosuke, and someone besides themselves. Well, I understand your suspicions. There's only 6 people left. 2 are wolves and 1 is the badger. It won't end until all the wolves are hanged. The choices are hard to make, and all we have to rely on are the snake's messages. Also, the one who died last night was Hashimoto-san, who was antagonistic towards Fusashi-kun last night. We weren't what I'd call enemies. His suspicions had a reasonable basis. In the end, even he voted for Kuri-san yesterday. He probably decided that she was a danger who had to be removed from the feast as soon as possible. He said I should be wary of you until the very end. It's entirely possible that you ordered Kuri-san to do something self-destructive. Mamiya-san, I thought you were with me and Hashimoto-san in the opinion that people aren't driven mad so easily. I've seen more than enough counter-arguments for that here, and it's possible that you were like that from the start. You could be insane enough to order her to do that like it was nothing, and she could have been insane enough to comply. And if that's true, we're being played like fiddles. I've had enough. I've had enough of being suspected no matter what I do. Of course you would be. You're a fake snake. And you're a fake human. We're the same. No one trusts either of us. We're unpopular outcasts. Oh, we'll win this one. Chikamochi, you little... I believe Fusashi-san even said that I'm human. Really? My intuition tells me that Hassan's pretty shady. Miss Mamiya, can I assume you don't believe him? She was conflicted, obviously. Rokako-san, you... I find it hard to believe that a wolf got rid of a wolf. But from my perspective, that's exactly what happened. Yeah, no, it's exactly what happened. The wolves are 2 mates and a child. There must be a strong bond between them. While we fear the mist, respect the feast, and find it acceptable to hang others from Yasumizu, the wolves would most likely help and protect one another. That may have been the original intent. Then maybe that was Karai-san's self-sacrifice for the other wolves. Like hell. She was made into a wolf, forced to kill Anaki, and went insane. That's it. She wasn't thinking any evil shit. That's probably how I'd have been if I were a local. Perhaps Karai-san might have been thinking something like that too. She died because of a bargain, her giving up on life and my sinister plotting. If Rokako-san was right and there was some sort of bond between the wolves, it didn't apply to us outsiders. Jimmy had proven that last time, when she cruelly used an outsider wolf as a sacrifice. Anyway, now that I had Rokako-san and Yoshitsugu-kun's vote, I couldn't lose now. I had no idea what Mochi would do, but he could easily vote as we wanted him to, despite knowing it was a mistake. There was no need to worry. Maiko-chan, who are you voting for? Mister, are you a wolf? I'm saying I'm not. Bah, Oni-chan, you're human? I'm a monkey, that means I'm human. Oni-chan, I'm human as well. Usayuki-san, I am human. You want to be friends with the wolves? Then I can't be friends with you. Bah. Maiko, please wake up. I hate you. Maiko was actually kind of manageable. We continued to argue for a while, but no one provided anything decisive. Who would have fucking thought? Noon came and everyone became even hungrier and exhausted. Isn't so much distress not having an idea who our allies are supposed to be? Yeah. Even so, no one said that we should vote because it was clear to us that all the results would be inconclusive. If we continue like this, no one would be hanged, human or wolf. That means their defeat. But anyone who suggested that we not vote would be considered a wolf. Thus, the only one who suggested we end it was Maiko, but only because she was hungry. Time passed by and we didn't get anywhere. Damn. So the ending is just, I'm hungry. How many times are you going to say that, brat? We do not have much time. We must clean up as well. If we do not end it fast, it will be bad for us. You want the humans to lose just like that? The same will happen if we hang. Mamiya-san, please, you just have to believe me. What am I supposed to do here? I'm getting tired here. Why aren't we voting yet anyway? If you don't know, shut up. I don't expect anything from you. Hassan, why aren't we voting? Because the amount of people who'd vote for me and those who'd vote for him are the same. So Yoshi, Haru-chan, Mik-chan, and Hassan would vote for Uncle. I see. Why didn't anyone tell me that it'd be over if I just voted for him too? No, wait, that'd lead to the humans' defeat. If we're gonna lose, let's get it over with. Who cares if the wolves win? Damn, Mochi. Kamoshida-sama, that is not something the monkey should say. Whatever, I'm an eccentric. You're just like him. Huh? Kinosuke-shi's quiet, sad voice drew everyone's attention, not just Mochi's. You're just like the head of the family from 3 generations ago. Your great-great-grandfather. What do you mean? The Nosato family is 3rd in terms of importance. The Meguruma are 1st, the Higuchi are 2nd, and our standing and wealth doesn't even compare to theirs. With recent advances in medicine, herbalism, our family trade grew useless over the years. However, we continue to survive as a head family because we focus on study and research, following the mentality of the crow. Mentality of the crow? Devour the claws and steal the skills. Devour the eyes and steal the writings. Devour the tongue and steal the words. Offering those up to Fushioshi shall be as the will of the crow. Uncle, Daddy said that mentality is a new word, so it's actually wrong. Do not bother me with that. Anyway, it means that we must contribute to our homeland through learning, even if it means preying on the dead and stealing knowledge. Fusayoshi, is that the old name of Fujiyoshi? Those are related. Sorry. We're survived by learning Western medicine, engineering, and technology before the other families. Most excellent, how unlike the Uematsu. You have my sympathies for growing up with nothing but the burden of tradition. Now we survive through our dedication to learning, but there was a moment when this entire structure almost fell apart. That was the time of the head of the family from 3 generations ago. He was insane, but at the same time an unparalleled genius. He amassed incredible wealth by leaving the village and investing in businesses and markets no normal person could understand. Even the war was a business opportunity for him. But soon after that, he threw away all contracts and deeds and shut himself in his mansion, Yasumizu. While the main house was in severe financial distress, he spent the rest of the days here, using his power as a village head to perform inhumane things. As far as I know, he killed animals by the dozen on a whim. Just like you. Wow. That's why you were disowned. They thought you were the second coming of your great-great-grandfather, and that you'd bring ruin to Nosato. No, Fujiyoshi. And now you're here nonchalantly making a mess of this life-and-death situation. You don't deserve a single vote. You say that, but do you have any of the will of the crow in you? You remain an outsider, belittle Fujiyoshi, ridicule Yasumizu, and you don't even do proper work. Even I can sometimes shut up for everyone's sake, you know? Oh, how I wanted him to shut up right now. San? Yes? I'll vote for Uncle. Relax and start the vote. Wait, is that really okay? Shut up. You spend all this time doing nothing but worry about what you think. We are running out of time. Let's start the vote. Damn it! Damn it! These were the results. Hisako Mamiya, Kinosuke no Sato, and Meiko voted for Haruaki Fusashi. For Yoshitsugu Aribe, Haru Makishima, Rikaku Uematsu, Chikamochi Kamoshida, and Haruaki Fusashi voted for Kinosuke no Sato. 5 against 3. It was more difficult than I expected, but it was decided that Kinosuke no Satoshi would be hanged. Thus, the wolves kinda win, assuming the badger helps. Though he didn't struggle much, Kinosuke muttered things under his breath the whole time. He was probably cursing me. How pathetic. I wanted to get this over with as soon as possible. I really did. We don't want him biting Hassan or something, so I'll be the one pushing him down. Yay! You little... Kamoshida-sama, allow me. Why make him happy? Nosato-sama, I am sorry things turned out this way. You truly believe I am a wolf, I assume? Yes, I would not hang a human. Very well, you will eventually find out the truth and despair. Knowing what you will feel then makes me feel regret rather than anger. Oh, if only you were a wolf, then I could have proudly died to keep you alive. For this, I will only be a shield that gives you a day or two more. My apologies. If I could take in the corruption and all other poison, I would have done it long ago. You really need to treasure your heart and body more. I'm merely doing this out of I simply want to find meaning in my own death. Araki Fusashi, hear this. Your misdeeds will become known whether you win or lose. However, find whatever semblance of pride a villain like you may have, and stop doing things to make women cry. Since this is the last time we'll talk, let me clear this up. There's nothing between me and Rikako-san. Yes, indeed. Also, as you are aware, I am not a wolf. What a circus this has been. Don't you wolves have guns or something? The suffering from that would be over in an instant. Please do shoot me. I'm willing to praise your excellent performance, but honestly I've had enough. Had enough of looking at your face, too. You also killed Rikako-san in a different timeline. Fine by me. Just fucking go. You don't have to tell me that. May I? Please back away, Rikako-san. But back away! I shall do this myself. She backed off. Until the very end, he was so pitiful. No, so human. He jumped, fell, and with a pathetic sounding cry, stopped breathing. Everyone separately whispered, "Rise not," and left the graveyard. And we all hoped that his boner did not rise. Sorry. Things were going as always. Until the moment. He's right, she said that. I completely forgot. We said we'd search for the gun Serizawa used to kill herself. Everyone froze. I believe we should fear the worst. The wolves took both the gun and the bullets. I do understand that it doesn't make complete sense to fear a gun that, for all we know, might not exist, but I believe we should check everyone's rooms. I'm not sure if they would hide it somewhere so obvious. What do you think? I think it's important to show that we're willing to search. Let's do it. Fine by me. During the second feast, after Jimmy had died, we talked about where the gun may have went. But after we hanged the old wolf guy, everyone had forgotten about that. I was actually curious about it too. Honestly, if I had to guess, I'd say that Great Lord Shinai cleaned it up, just like he did with the wolf outfit, but it'd be bad for us if Mochi or someone else got their hands on it. I gotten this far. I really didn't want to die to a goddamn gunshot right before the finish line. Yes, it's dangerous to just leave it. We should look through everyone's houses, whether they're alive or not. It'll be in one of your rooms, won't it? Just so you know, it's not clear whether a wolf actually took it. And if you ask me, you're not free of suspicion yourself. Alright, sorry. Let's stop wasting time on that shit. Good, we don't have much time though. Mochi, your Shitsugu-kun and I should be enough to finish cleaning up Hashimoto-san's remains in time. You should give a look to all of them, even if it's brief. If it's not enough, we could look around more thoroughly tomorrow. That is true. It will take time after all. Why not start with the men's places first? Whoa, Brevs! Don't mess around at a time like this, Kamoshida. I don't care, I ain't hiding anything. I don't want to do that. You men can have the men's rooms. We'll check out the women's. It'd be best to look around as a group given the situation, but that'll work for now. Very well, we will begin by looking at things left behind by the women. And by me, we'll go then. Yes, it pains me to have you do this yourselves, but please. The cleanup was unexpectedly easy. Of course it was. We cut him up into smaller pieces to make it easy. After 4 trips of putting his remains on a door and carrying it to Saranaga, all of him was in there. We also threw in the bloody futon and the cloths we used to wipe. So who has the gun is the question. Is it Haru? I don't think so. After we washed our hands, we were done, so we went to join the girls in searching for the gun. Where is it? It's in a neat house. 1 second. What if it's in Hashimoto's house? That'd be crazy. They were all in the dorm. Haru-chan's room. Oh, yeah, it is. That makes sense. Their faces were completely frozen. What happened? After a moment, I realized, no way. A mistake. A mistake like this? Mamiya-san was holding a new dark flashlight. No way. It's really new. Foreign made, well designed too. Must cost about 5,000 yen. There's still batteries inside. They're also foreign. Shit. We're good. They're also foreign. It looked like the ones that came with the flashlight. Why would anyone need this on nights when they have to shelter? Sakuramiya's face was soon warped by a look of victorious decisive rage. Why would a girl that barely gets any allowance of something like this? I looked to notice that Rikaku Uematsu's face was full of contempt and mercy. Who bought this outside the village and gave it to her? Haru Makishima's face was pale with fear, despair, and realization of her failure. Haruki Fusashi, Haru Makishima. Do you have any excuses? I had to think. There had to be something. Haru-chan's face might have said it all, but I had to be able to explain it and let us both get through this. I had to. Crap. All the lies I could think of would only let one of us survive. Me. Oh well, it'd be pretty forced, but I had to turn the flashlight into a personal gift from me to her. She said she liked SF movies, and I happened to have 2 flashlights, so I gave her one. I completely ignored the foundation that stated that everyone else would know about this and if we talked about it at night. But I could force this and make them believe. A few seconds passed, but I was still in the safe zone. That's a... Shut up. I blacked out for a moment and fell to the floor. A dull impact slammed into my face just now. What are you doing? Don't let this asshole talk. Of course I wasn't in the safe zone. The Feast of the Yomi Purge was a game of communication, but it didn't forbid violence. Some got the upper hand by communicating using only words, while those who couldn't would naturally try to get their point across through other means. I'd underestimated that fact. Yoshitsugu Oribe's violence quickly neutralized me. Head, back, arms, the legs still hurting from the sprain. Chair, sticks, he used whatever he could to get his hands on and beat me senseless. I couldn't resist in any meaningful way. He was well trained and had the motivation, bloodlust, to go with the violence. Yeah, that didn't go well. It continued until Rikaku-san brought a rope. My consciousness was faint, but I hadn't lost it yet. By the end, I just meekly begged for him to stop. I might have even cried, but I was shown no mercy. Before I knew it, it was dark. It seemed to be in the prefab. In the end, I didn't know what was what, so I probably lost consciousness. The wolf outfit was right next to me. Time for work, huh? I could move, somehow, a bit of wiggling around, and I felt something fall off of me. The rope tied around me had been torn and undone. Moving around caused me pain so immense that I couldn't even moan anymore. Even thinking was a challenge. I couldn't do anything like this. The clothing was right there, but I couldn't wear it to get up or walk. Oh, they beat me to a pulp to see whether someone would die with me like this. So there wasn't any need to remove limbs, huh? A good beating was more than enough to incapacitate a person for the night. They'd probably done the same to Haru-chan. We were checkmated. Oh well, this was just a careless mistake. Those sort of happen. I just wouldn't give Haru-chan the flashlight next time. She could have easily gotten this far without it. That is wrong, villain. I heard a voice right next to me. Fighting the pain, I turned to the source. Oh, hi. I saw her wearing that weird outfit. So you do not understand just how happy she was when you gave her that gift. Surely you know that women are animals who enjoy tribute. Without it, she would have still been treating you like a stranger. Then, it was a hoarse voice that must have hurt her throat. Then next time I'll bring her something consumable, like some sweets. It would do you no good. This is simply the natural result of drawing too much suspicion. A single hair from the filthy wolf hide would have resulted in the same outcome. Surely you know by now that humans are predictable creatures. I shall not call this fate, however. It is merely that similar circumstances prompt similar actions. Humans are more like machines than you would expect. She had a point. A different situation would cause a different reaction. That was natural. On the other hand, a similar situation would cause similar reactions. Are you saying that my death here is inevitable? Oh my, oh my. I have said nothing of your death, villain. Let us journey to the Misty Mountain. This will be our final tryst. I took her hand and, strangely enough, managed to stand up. She got me in the wolf's clothing, some water all over it, and the murderer was assembled. She then took me by the hand and led me to the darkness and mist. Why am I alive? Also, why is Haruchan okay? Okay, she was beaten senseless. She simply didn't look as villainous as you. There's nothing more to it. Good point. Acted the good guy and lied to them with every breath. The only reason you and the girl are alive is because they were afraid that the corruption would take them if they killed you. Who pointed that out? The one who likes this girl. Mochi, huh? He probably said that just to keep her alive a bit longer. Now, who would you kill? Yoshitsugu Oribe. Crow. If we let him live, he'll find out that Kyonosuke Inosato was a human. Good struggle. It suits a villain like yourself. What a mean thing to say. Are humans that comical to you? All beasts try to lie proudly. To me, all of their attempts are worthy of affection. Beasts, huh? Yeah, I really was an insane villain. A wolf. True. Then I would just struggle until the very end. I killed Yoshitsugu Oribe. I mustered some fighting spirit and hatred for what he'd done to me. I hit on the head, another one, another one, another one. Once I was done, Haruchan applauded. That wasn't because I was doing the right thing from the perspective of the real story. The applause was directed at me as a person. It almost made me cry again. I've been thrown into such an awful situation, become one of the worst human beings imaginable. I still had someone who acknowledged and accepted me. I had God. I appreciated that she was here. I was lying on some grass, looking up at the milky darkness. Strangely enough, there were no beasts here in the graveyard near the hanging pine. I see you overdid it, villain. Or should I call you Haruaki Dono? It had to be because of her. Villain is fine. Anyway, it all worked out. Tomorrow we'll reveal what we are. We'll then bring Mako to our side and win this. And what will you do once the mist has cleared? I considered giving a vague response, but I knew it was pointless with her. I'll take Haruchan and leave this place. What an interesting man you are. Why? Do you truly believe Great Lord Shinai would let you escape? Great Lord Shinai, not the third god? Oh yes, have you become so prideful that you underestimated that god? No, I'm within the palm of Great Lord Shinai's hand. I thought it was an exception. You have fallen and risen far too many times, I see. That's the only reason you believe that. I make my own rules. Oh yes, you did. Perhaps you'll be able to do something about the snake's dogs. That sounds like a pain. Still, I'll do it. For this girl? Or perhaps for me? Taking you both outside sounds like a good time. You truly are a villain. You've left many a woman in tears, I assume? Damn. Okay. Oh, now this is something. I wondered what she meant by that, but then I realized I had been had again. Telepathy was some messed up shit. That's an invasion of privacy, pervy god. What an uncouth man you are. What are you planning to do tomorrow? Haruchan and I would reveal we're the wolves, like Yasunaga-kun had done the first time. Then we take Mako to our side. Mako's anger was probably the kind you directed someone close to you. It was just a bit too strong. Like the real story said, she believed that wolves were good and humans were evil. It wasn't born out of Yasumizu's madness, but of childish purity. Thus, she assumed that Rikako-san and I were evil and felt betrayed. If I revealed that I was a wolf, she'd gladly join me. Most likely. No, that's not going to happen. We know that. With that, we'd have 3 votes and wouldn't be lynchable anymore. There was the chance that I could turn physical then, but I just neutralized Yoshitsugu-kun, the one most likely to do it. Our victory was certain. Nope. Oh, how naive we are. That would not go well. You know, I do. Persistent victory! That's the wrong choice, but we do it anyway. Even so, I'll persist in victory with the methods I devised. I see. To be human is to desire death. Out of all those with set destinies, only humans are eager to die. There are animals who die for their children. You have merely chosen death, manipulated by inevitable fate, like you would be by a god. You don't know why, but you wish to die for no reason. But sometimes humans take pleasure in receiving avoidable deaths they did not wish for, much like you right now. That is exactly what makes you so lovable, villain. Understood. Watching you die, rise again, and greeting you again at that time shall serve as entertainment for me in this transient world. She was merely referencing my own personal preserved memories. It wasn't like she retained them the way I do. Then again, I wasn't confident if I preserved my own will, or rather the continuity of my soul between loops. As long as Yasumizu Fujiyoshi was around, she would continue to exist. No, would even God disappear if I looped back? It was okay. My death wasn't set in stone. It is. Yes, it is best to look at it that way. Will you be going back now? Yeah. Oh, whatever is that? I instinctively looked away and felt a warm sensation on the back of my neck. Feeling better now. Pain in my body faded. Was that you? Well, was it now? Miracles can happen. If you're aware of how tomorrow will go, then this fun night on your end shall be a good time. This is farewell, city dweller. Return before the dogs come. What? She faded into the mist. I felt a slight stickiness on my neck. It was her tongue, or rather her lips. Feeling jacked up from a kiss with a girl? What am I, a middle schooler? Thus I trivialized the situation and returned to the prefab. This is not gonna end well. Badger God calling you out and picking wrong choices to see the bad ends? True. So true. Armed with the old hoe, I walked through the morning mist. I met with Haruchan before the feast. She walked with me side by side, carrying a sickle. She understood what we were going to do without me even having to say it. Good morning. Good morning. But by exchanging those words, we confirmed that we were human and evil. It was a declaration that we may have borrowed that impudent God's power to get this far, that we were traveling down the path of villainy, not the road God has provided us. This is... weren't you tied up? I see. So it really was Okami-sama. Those words clearly indicated not all the wolves in the feast of the Yomi Purge, but the paranormal entities who lent power to them. After all, we untied ourselves. After all, Yoshitsugu Aribe was dead. After all, we've been heavily wounded, yet here we were, wielding weapons. Good eye. A declaration of parting. Miko stared wide-eyed at us. Though she didn't understand, she could guess that on our side of the invisible boundary between us were blood-stained wolves. Go ahead, Haruchan. In the end, it was fitting. We are, that she should be the one to declare a victory. We're the wolves. Huh? We were the wolves. Indeed, we were the wolves who threatened Yasumizu. Wait, this was... Oh, so that was it. What are you saying? We're the wolves here, I'm telling you. That's our line. We've been slaughtering the impure humans. And we beat must return to Yomi. So, come here, Mako. Aha, don't listen to her, Mako. We're the real wolves. The humans declared themselves to be the wolves. I never expected this strategy. Humans don't lie, so there would be no point in declaring oneself a wolf. This was a blind spot born from that belief. It was clear as day who the Badger was this time, so I thought we could always get an extra vote. In hindsight, the same applied to humans as well. In that case, why not just tell us how you killed Takamine, Nichan, Yoshikun, and that big man? Haruchan, realizing the situation, tried to counterattack. Unlike all our efforts so far, we were seeking proof not that we were innocent, but guilty. Man, what a twist. I was so excited I don't even remember. That's bullshit, you know it. Indeed, it was bullshit. No one could tell who the real wolves were here, so long as they were an adult. The wolves! Who are the good wolves? A little girl who spent nearly the entire feast staring off into space, only speaking up to give her votes, couldn't possibly tell. It's us, Mako-chan. Yes, us! We're so persistent, it's us. Mako, let us sing together. I can finally tell you, Mako. I wanted to tell you I was on your side from the very start. No, don't listen to her, Mako. Get over here already, you dumb brat. Oh, you don't say that. You fucked up. Mako walked off over to Rikako-san. Now, let's vote. Amazing, I never thought of a trick like that. Actually, I'm a wolf too. You said you were in the monkey this whole time. Oh, right, yeah, well, but the eccentric in me wants to be on the wolf side. Sorry, Haruchan. I'll make sure it doesn't hurt too bad. Can't say the same for Hasan, though. Oh, but it could be interesting if Haruchan tries to kill me tonight. Okay then. I vote for Hasan. I'm voting for Mimiya-san. I shall vote for Haraki Fusashi-sama. I'm voting for Tsuyuki-san. You were lying this whole time. You toyed with everyone. I vote for Mimiya-san. Oh boy. Yudai Hashimoto gave you the idea, didn't he? Unfortunately, that's exactly it. But I must say, earning your hatred is quite the achievement. What do we do, Haruchan? Go nuts? Whatever puts you at ease. Oh, don't think we didn't come prepared. Misako Mimiya, Rikaku Uematsu, and Chikamochi Kamoshida all took out sharp objects they were hiding and pointed them right at us. Man, this is a war if I've ever seen one. You're not that kind of person. Is that the journalist's intuition talking? Woman's intuition. I know a scoundrel when I see one. You had us beat. I threw aside my weapon. What happened next was hardly worth talking about. I was hanged and died. Did God see this future? Then how had she planned to avoid this? The question seemed to fade into the mist along with my consciousness. It's a bad end! Hooray! Yeah, Hashimoto's still fucking us up from the grave. God damn it. Hashimoto! Hey, you done it now, Chief? Though I should probably be tipping my hat off to Hisako Mamiya here. The start of events was rather tricky. Make sure you pay close attention to this hint, which is fucking easy. Bad End 26, Badger betrayed lynching. Just so you know, numerically, this is the final bad ending in the main story. What? At this point, you should be missing many of them, so if you are worried about filling them all in, don't be. For those who got this and all the others after completing the game, congratulations. It must have been tough for so many, huh? Now into the details. Thanks to Hashimoto Mamiya's plan, you were soundly defeated in the votes to turn the tables on this one. Well, it seems God has an idea, so why don't you try leaving it to her for now? Go back to that and pick the other choice. Well, that's all for this time. Oh, almost forgot. Want to know how to fill in that last bad ending spot? Well, when you get all the other endings, maybe something will show up. Well, it's just a little Easter egg. Don't get too excited for it. Instead, look forward to the climax of the main story. Let's say again, die another hearty death. What? Have I gotten all the bad endings thus far? I'm guessing there's some side story bad endings, I would assume. I would presume. This is the final numerically, not the last one you'll see. Got it. What should we do? What should we do then? This. I thought I'd gotten used to pain by now, but I was oh so wrong. Where did she get that branch? I wanted to ask that, but I wasn't in a state to do it, for I was already lying defenseless in the grass. I felt my limp body get dragged. Another thing. Excuse me. Neat. This is fine. This is fine. I heard her whisper that over and over again. Why am I starting to sneeze? Next morning, I woke up in a lot less pain. I couldn't even tell if I'd actually woken up. My consciousness was far too vague. Last night I gotten beat up so badly I couldn't even stand. None of my wounds were life-threatening, but that was why my body was sensitive to every injury, sending pain signals to my brain. I felt like I just recovered from paralysis. That was normal. In fact, the fact that I could walk around at night was the anomaly. My body had been bound once more. Had Great Lord Shinai actually tied me up again? Had he restored the torn ropes or something? No, it was tied differently and over a different spot. This was a different rope put on me sometime later. Also, the knots seemed kind of clumsy. It was Haru-chan. She was using me for something. Can you stand Haraki Fusashi? She entered like it was no big deal, then confiscated my key, apparently. What? Well, I couldn't force my voice into words. It's fine, I'll just drag you. She was curt with me. However, I could tell from her voice and actions that she was perplexed by something. She actually dragged me, still bound, down the hill and into the plaza, leaving me even more beat up. Ow! It was hard to get me up the steps of the hall, though. She kicked me in frustration. I somehow crawled up. Everyone was already there. Rikako Uematsu, Meiko, Chikamochi Kamoshida, and... See, I've arrived, city dwellers. What? What? Why? It was morning, and yet she was... What? What's going on here? She directed that shot at me, but it was clear who the source of her confusion was. Why the wailings, city lady? Do not tell me that you do not know of the nature of this village. Oni-chan, you're weird. Uematsu-san, can you explain? Araki Makishima-sama has been in this state before. What? Possessed by a wolf? Huh? Yes, that would be me. What? Oh dear, do me. Yumi was so boring that I badgered father and mother to use the mist to rise back up again. But father was sent back soon after we began, and mother also returned. Well, it was an amusing diversion. Humans, children of Great Lord Shinai, I'm satisfied with all the killing I did. What is this? Is this what the wolves really are? The humans had killed the wolves. They rise again from Saranaga to have their revenge. I'm not talking about the story. The eccentricity? Yes, that's not what the feast is supposed to be, is it? It's just a serial killing, isn't it? I might find this event surprising, but I do not find it especially outlandish. Seriously, Kamoshida-kun. I don't know. Rei-chan she's supposed to be cured? Normally, yes, but possession by the wolf is too much, even for the spider. The bedroom woman servant stands no chance against Great Lord Shinai's prime guardian, the Lord of the Hunt. I don't really get it, but was she going to end up a wolf ever since she became like this all those years ago? I do not know. All those years ago? Indeed. When I was hanged 8 years ago, as I journeyed back to Yomi, I found this girl wandering in the mist and took her as my vessel. But then the mist retreated and the feast ended with it. Thus I waited for the next feast. What is it, city dweller? I cannot understand you if you speak so quietly. Lies. You were no wolf. You weren't destined to get the wolf's blessing. You already knew the real story. You knew exactly what I wanted to say. Why was she tilting her head and smiling? No, I knew her intention. Now, this feast has become quite lonely. I couldn't understand it. So why not hang me? Why would she go this far? He likes you, Haraki. What do we do? What can we do? When we found Haramakashima-sama, she was unbound. That had to be possible for the Okami-sama. Even locks mean nothing to them after all. Then why isn't he moved? He's the one who said that Haramakashima was a human and gave her the flashlight. He's supposed to be a wolf, right? That is what you said, Mamiya-sama. How else do you explain it? Why did he have to lie? Yoshitsugu Aribe attacked him before he could give us his reason. You didn't stop him either. Yes, I will stop scolding you for what happened yesterday. However, no matter how disgraceful, you must right your own wrongs. Musashi-sama, you must hurt, but please, tell us the truth. I'm not off. Say it clearly. I'm not a wolf. I'm the snake. I'm the snake. I fell for Haruchan, so I lied. I was really, really conflicted. I wanted only Haruchan to win, so I got rid of the other wolves. Damn, what a fucking play. He's admitting to terrible things. He's admitting to so many terrible things. He's also a killer, but he's admitting to so much fucking bad shit. You found 2 wolves, gained trust as a snake while sheltering the last wolf. We wanted you and her to be the last survivors, even if it meant betraying the humans. I nodded. But the Haramakashima-sama you love seems to be gone. I have consumed her mind. I wanted to shed tears, because I actually felt like crying. Lastly, why did you give that device to Haramakashima-sama? She said she liked what it did, so I just gave it. I wanted to get closer to her. My chest hurt like hell. You create a ray of light in the evening mist. A curious diversion, city dweller. I could easily lie. The pain in my chest was just from my wounds. Did you hear that? Haraki-sama was a snake who gave gifts and betrayed humans out of affection. And Haramakashima-sama was the last wolf. We must vote. Wait a minute. How is that even possible? That seems like a bad joke. Haraki Fusashi-sama is not from Yasumizu. It would not be surprising if his affection came before his mission. Kamishita-sama. Haruchan, are you sure you want this? What do you mean? Then I'll vote for Haruchan. 1 for the city, brother. 1 for Haramakashima-sama. Fusayuki-san. Musashi-sama, can you vote? Fuck. I had to talk. I was the one who decided to be evil. I had to play the villain until the bitter end. No need to say it. The result won't change. Fusashi-kun, sorry, but I won't apologize. I pity for you, but you're too much of a menace. 1 for Haramakashima. That's 3 votes. He can't turn it around no matter who he votes for. We must hang her. Fuck! All the fuck! Shinai-san's guardians are 1 snake, 2 monkey, 3 crow, 4 spider. I believe this is my final look at this place. The funeral was different. The wolf was cheerful. With a spring in her step, she went to the front of the group as if she was excited for what would happen at the hanging pine. I was walking at the very end, supported by Rikaku-san. Clearly, it was an act of repentance. 7, the corrupt Yomibito rise to oppose the mountain. 8, death of the damned Yomibito is the mandate. What, must I sing alone? Basically, everyone was uneasy. Of course they would be. They were dealing with an actual god. 1 soul per day, now to bind. The mist rise away again. Thus, Shinai-san's guardians are. I had to sing even if I was the only one. How pleasing. That was the only kind of atonement I could make. I've tied the rope. Can I jump? Okami-sama? What is it, priestess of the spider? Why must you rise up every now and again? To punish the humans and the guardians? I wish I could be louder, but people are sleeping. I see. So you're all still afraid of that. How pitiable, how lovable. Oh, I think I might cry. I shall tell you. We rise up because that is how we live. Losing her words, Rikaku-san bowed a little and backed away. I believe this is it. Everyone backed away. You haven't endured this well. She was just too incomprehensible. Thus the end has come. More than that, her back actually looked divine. I shall excuse myself. She took a step toward the cliff. Haruchan, before I knew it, I was the one closest to her. My body and mind were so numb that I couldn't move forward or back. All I could do was call out to her. She stopped. I had nothing I could say. Ha! That was when the cloth of her face fell away. You realized, I knew it, how uncool With that, she jumped toward me and kissed my ear. Just like that, she turned around and ran. No, I was the uncool one here. I'd half expected this to happen. I'd seen the signs, yet I'd still let her do it. No, that was wrong too. She lived the way she wanted. Just like I'd asked, she ignored what others thought and gave both her mind and body to sacrifice the unparalleled vice. Was there supposed to be some sort of teacher warning her against it and setting up her on the proper path? No. In the end, I was just regretful that I'd broken the rules I'd established. It should have been the other way around. I wasn't supposed to be me. Or it shouldn't have been me. She should have been the villain among villains who betrayed and sacrificed her comrade to live on. She was consumed by the mist, and that was that. How passionate. If only it wasn't the reason why I almost died, maybe I wouldn't be so angry. I'm sorry. Mimi-san closed in on the cliff. Come here for a second. Everyone did as she said. Then she dragged the rope up. It was supposed to have Haru-chan's weight on it, yet she could reel it in without any trouble. Huh? What? Did she escape? In a panic, she quickly brought the long rope back up. Soon enough, we saw the end. Everyone fell silent. The noose was covered in fresh blood. Makishima's slender neck had been torn the moment the rope went taut. Ooh. I had no idea what happened next, how I left the graveyard, what the others were doing. The pain and difficulty breathing was just too much at this point. Was I conscious? If so, why couldn't I feel anything? If not, was I asleep or had I fainted? I couldn't tell. My whole body felt heavy and was in pain. Feeling completely crushed, I had a nightmare where I was surrounded by countless smiling Haru-chan heads. A dream could only mean that I was sleeping. Before I knew it, the pain had vanished, leaving me to suffer only the regret and sadness. I opened my eyes. Where was I? It looked like a poorly made hut. Right next to me, I saw Rokako-san. Huh? Rokako-san? Oh shit, we got fucked. Huh. My body was all ow. Do not push yourself. Only hurt because I'd been lying on a hard floor. The wounds were gone, though. What a relief. It seems to have worked. Did you do something? Rode you like a horse? Sorry. I took in your wounds and pain. That had to be a joke. Was there anything the Uematsu superpower couldn't do? Thank you. I wanted to prioritize gratitude before shock, but then I saw the filthy blood in a bucket at her side. Shocked, I assumed? This is a little trick we Uematsu girls know. Oh, that's certainly strange. Is it? I simply absorb whatever is negative. It is not all powerful. For one, you were writhing just now. That was because of the dream, not any wound. Are you okay, though? Yes, Uematsu girls are raised to be used to drawing blood for this trick. If you are well, then please return to your room. Sorry, I almost forgot. I was a lying snake, the worst possible guardian receiver who'd almost destroyed the humans. There is no time for that. What time is it? I have no clock, but it is evening. I finally realized that my surroundings were tinted orange. Alright, I know I can't thank you enough, so I'll just take my leave. Musashi-sama? She called out to me, but I didn't turn around. I hold no grudge to you. I cannot blame a human who felt something for a wolf. A man from the city who was not born here, who was not used to Yasumizu yet, did not belong in the feast in the first place. Damn, we're the worst wolf possible. She hadn't changed at all. Do not let it torment you. In the end, you mustered your courage and revealed it. No, Kyonosuke did. No, sorry. Because of that, we were able to hang all the wolves. Good night. I was afraid of hearing that emotionless voice say anything more. Fusayuki-san? She stood outside the room, but I ignored her. Hassan! Someone called out to me from the mist. There's something I want to tell you. See you tomorrow. And then he left. I returned to the prefab. Slept. Woke up. Killed Rokako. Changed into the wolf outfit. And killed Hisako Mamiya. That's not who you should have killed, but sure, all by myself. That's not who you should have killed, but okay. 5 in the morning. I had no idea if I was just used to this or if Uematsu's treatment was just that good, but I woke up feeling decidedly neutral. No, why do I think that? Killing Rokako? I feel like killing Rokako, like, means Mako wouldn't run over to her in this predicament, but who knows? No drowsiness, fatigue, not even the pleasant feeling you got when you stretched to shake off the weight of sleep. We all arrived at the plaza at the same time. Araki Fusashi, Rikaku Uematsu, Mako, and Chikabochi Kamoshida. Strange enough, I didn't think this was a coincidence. I felt like we agreed to gather here at the same time, and everyone noticed that someone was no longer with us. Hisako Mamiya-sama is gone. The feast was not over yet. In other words, there is still a wolf among us. Fusayuki-san? What's happening? Mako-chan, I'm actually a wolf. Really? Yeah, really. What a conversation. Yeah, I'm a wolf. Yeah, I did it. Fucking, I'm evil. Whatever. It was easy. Really, really? Really, 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 really. Never been more honest since I came to Yasumizu. Next moment, Miko clung to me. Bah. Sorry for not telling you. I was so scared. So scared. I thought you were Yomi something. Yeah, sorry. Patted her back and had her hide behind me. 2 votes. A real perfect split. It appears that I may have let my emotions get the better of me. In the Feast of the Yomi Purge, that is a fatal mistake. I was fooled by Miko's innocence, your sociability, and Haru Makishima-sama's lies. I suspected, yet I let myself be fooled. We, the humans, have lost. I spend my final moments praying to Shinai-sama. Please call me when I must be hanged. Goodbye. Having said all she had to, she left, not turning around once. Oh man, Richan gave up. You won't? I never cared about who won or lost the feast once the moment it started. The one who shared the false wolf claim with just her emotions, she could have still tried it. She still could have tried it, but like, Rikako would have been the one that Mako would have ran to. The other two, it wouldn't have been possible. I don't think. Plus, I meant Mamiya would last longer, but that's fine. If it did, it'd still be it'd be the Nosato heir apparent. Good point. Hasan, die. Nope. Mako-chan, you know he's gonna kill you tomorrow, right? Really? I won't. Bad human, I won't believe you. I see. Why'd you let Haru-chan die? Honestly, I really didn't care if I died in the feast as long as Haru-chan survived until the end. I mean, she was basically gonna kill all the people that bothered her and just ran away. How cool is that? I wouldn't mind dying as I saw that happen. Hell, I was actually looking forward to it. Give me back my excitement. Hasan, you knew, didn't you? About Haru-chan's fake disease, I mean. Yeah. This is our secret, no one else's, and it probably doesn't have anything to do with the feast. Ignore it and go to sleep. I knew it. This was something she'd created. You knew about that clothing too, right? Yeah, I mean, the 3 of us made it in elementary school. She grew out of it, though, so she should really make a new outfit. It's too pervy. You could say that again. I expected something like this. This is fine. If she'd come back to her senses at least once back then, she'd have never tolerated her apparel. When I was hanged 8 years ago, as I journeyed back to Yomi, I found this girl wandering in the mist and took her as my vessel. If God was actually the primary personality, and I've never taken my side back then, she'd have never played along with Haru-chan's desire to save me by sacrificing herself. Basically, she could always switch between God and Haru Makishima. All the strange powers displayed by Haru Makishima were either powers she'd already had or just products of her imagination. So, just fake dual personality? Fabrication. The mind-reading thing was just the product of her delusions. It just happened that she'd gotten things right. That was the only possibility. Or she was God, who knows? Harutan switched to you. She knew that Yasun still liked Chiani, so she switched to you. You're just saying whatever you want now. I'd been with her since forever. Trust me, I know what she's like. You, a person who's interested in others? You're such a bully. Though yeah, Haru-chan happened to become a wolf and switched from hating you to liking you? Or was it something else? Something more special? I don't really know, but that was probably it, right? You truly had a talent for finding the truth without comprehending it. All the more then. What are you going to do to make it up to Haru-chan? Nothing. Whoa, damn. How about you make yourself clear instead? What do you mean? If you didn't vote for Haru-chan, she might have been able to survive. Even so, you voted for her. How you look at others is oftentimes a twisted reflection of your own feelings. You sure you didn't kill her because you were angry that she didn't choose you? Oh, I see. So that's how it works. Hasan, what if I thought the old Haru-chan was gone, and so decided to break her myself? Would that be eccentric? Nope, it's the normal everyday feeling called jealousy. I see, so I was jealous. Can't say I actually know what you thought and felt. Your talk is hard. Adults have to act normal even when there's hard or bad things around, Mako. Adults have it hard. He's just saying whatever now. I feel sad for you, Mako-chan. I was telling the truth, though. So what now? Want a feast? I'd lose that, wouldn't I? Mako-chan, want to beat him up? Yeah! Herdermerchi, it's a yes. Hasan, want to make a bet? What kind? Rock, paper, scissors. The loser dies. Now that's straightforward. Good though, right? I'm down. 1, 2, rock, paper. He put it up his thumb and stuck out his index finger, created a finger gun, the unbeatable hand. I, on the other hand, took out Chimmy's shotgun from my sleeve. Holy shit. Holy fuck. What a fucking big dick move. Well, I can't win against that. Thanks for cooperating. Oh, shit. Mochi, sketchy bets were my thing. Not even a genius like you could win against an adult villain. Sorry, Mako-chan, did that surprise you? No, we beat the bad human. Damn, Mako is evil as fuck. Oh, we protect Mako. Whoa, man, just what kind of upbringing did she have? You're gonna do it to Oni-chan too? Not today. Tomorrow? Yes. Mako? The necessity to kill Mako. That case seemed likely. God had said that there were 3 gods. One was Great Lord Shinai, one was the old god who had the unfavorable name Mujina, Badger forced onto it, and the last one was my enemy. If God lived with man, then perhaps if I killed Mako, who hadn't died once, I could escape this endless misty hell for all I knew. But I didn't want to kill her. That'd be crossing a line even for me. Subconsciously or not, I'd set a line for myself, and I didn't want anyone else to change it. You came so far. Huh? Yet you are still off the mark, villain. What? Huh? What? Huh? I tried to turn around, but I couldn't. The thing behind me was so scary, I couldn't turn around. How many times will I have to say it until you understand? Yeah, the God changed. God is a lot worse than you imagine. Did you truly believe that a god would fall alongside the Fujiyoshi girl used as a vessel? What is God? I would love to do a high-pitched, like, Mako-like voice for the god, but I can't because it's going to be loud and there are people sleeping who have work tomorrow. And I also have work tomorrow. But, like, can't. I'm sorry. It is something humans can never kill. I turned around. Bah? It was Mako, same as always. I couldn't believe that she was just laughing out loud. It was Sayuki-san. Your face is very white. Yeah, maybe. Are you okay? Yeah, I think I need some water. I'll go to the bathroom. The dining hall felt like it had been abandoned 10 years ago. Even so, water was still running. I wasn't all that thirsty, but it could make me feel better, so I cupped some water in my palms. There's no escape. Huh? I jumped back, getting water all around me. Just now, on the surface of the water in my hands, there was a mirror above the sink. I looked right at it. You cannot escape God, so why not try joining me? My land may be small, but I will make sure you are not bored. You will get to kill, swindle, violate to your heart's content. The mountain shall become holy once more. If you find a fitting girl, you can even have her bear your children. What did you do to me? If you do not understand, then be silent and offer yourself to God. It seems like the time has come. Villain, this world will be quite interesting. I cannot wait to see how well your evil lasts and... Sayuki-san! I shook my head, chasing away the delusion clinging to my head. What is it? What is that? Her voice was shaking. Did she see a spider or something? I followed her outside. What? 1, 3, 8, 9, and 19? The fuck? Do I have any of those keys? Probably not. 1, 3, 8, 9, and 19. 1, 3, 8, 9, and 19. Lose all words. Sure. I was shocked. There was no better word for it. The first shock was caused by the fact that the mist had cleared. After all, the Feast of the Yomi Purge wasn't over yet. The next thing to surprise me was the fact that the sun had just recently come up, but the night had returned. It was dark, but it was a strange kind of darkness. I looked around for the sun, and it took me about 5 seconds to realize that it was the thing in the sky. A loop in the eastern sky. A total solar eclipse? No way. If there was such a celestial event today, I'd have heard about it on TV before Golden Week. That wasn't just an eclipse. It probably had something to do with the unnatural, unreasonable, incomprehensible phenomenon happening before me. Phenomenon? That was too small of a word to describe it. Most of my surprise was about the monster. Monster? Oh. Huh. That looks like Legion. Please note that I'm saying the word Legion, but I like calling that word Legion. It's a Dead by Daylight thing that I did. Well, more and more. It spanned mountains, it pierced the clouds, it carved valleys with each step, it leveled forests. I lacked words to describe the scale of it. It dwarfed even the things in Tokatsu's shows or mecha anime. After all, it was still far away. It was beyond the mountain, beyond the cliff, beyond Saranaga. It was walking. Its destination was the golden, no unpleasantly pale ring that used to be the sun. Even so, I looked up at it. It was thousands of meters tall. It was a monster that had legs the size of mountains, and even the term gigantic seemed to fall short. They don't need to be in until 10 a.m.? That's weird. I gotta love late days. Even so, all I could do was look up. What the hell was with this ending? I played a murder game in a village inhabited by werewolves and survived only to be greeted by a giant monster called Legion? What the hell? Who could predict this turn of events? Nobody. Who would sign off on this plot twist? The developers? Naturally, I quickly understood that it was a monster that'd bring mythical levels of despair and destruction. Mako was clinging to my leg. I brought her closer to me. Both of us were shaking. Fear. This was nothing but primal fear. Death was nothing in comparison. The fear we felt surpassed mundane concepts like death. This was a fear of the world coming to an end. Once I realized that, I knew that humans, a part of the world, could do nothing against it. You've done it now. What? Excuse me? Excuse me? Hello? You done it now, eh? What? Suddenly I lost all sense of reality. Hey, you! And there was even some fancy-looking thing in front of me. It was a large plush sheep that told us all the bad endings. It was cute. It talked. Can I get a plush of it? Do they sell plushies of it? But its voice wasn't cute. You listening? Yes? I'm saying that you done it now. That thing, huh? I looked again, and strangely enough, the scene had lost all color. The monster was still there, still walking slowly, covering kilometers with each step. But again, it didn't feel real anymore, and the fear was gone too. I looked next to me. Mako was still frozen in fear. Again, it didn't feel real. In fact, my hands, clothes, everything around me didn't feel real. The sensation was kind of familiar. Oh, right. It was what I felt every time before dying. I'd felt this whenever my memories were engulfed in mist and before I looped. And I felt like this sheep was familiar too. Yeah, every bad ending. I hate to break it to you, but with that thing waking up, this country's dead. Oh, dialogue. What? Who are you? That doesn't matter now. Yes, it does. Wait, what? Why is a sheep talking anyway? You get in a situation, I'm telling you that the country's through. It's easier to accept the appearance of a monster than a talking sheep. Is it? Also, bot, get banned. Also, is it? Oh, you're such a pain in the ass. Listen, I knew there was some weird shit going on in this area. That's because a part of reality was put inside a dream. I specialize in that stuff. That's why I came here. But honestly, just keeping myself hidden from the dreamer was hard enough. What? I couldn't directly influence the dream, but I could lend my hope to a human. That's you, but you fucked up. I see. Actually, that's too brief, so I only get the most basic parts. But what the hell? You understood? Damn, hell, you can joke around like that in this situation? Sure, all those deaths didn't drive you nuts. You're the one behind the looping? Now things go back after death because of the dream. No way that's this twist. Of the dream? Yeah, I'm just helping you keep your memories. Oh, so that's how it was. Crap, there's no time. Hey, you, think about what to do next once you're back. You tell me to die? No, I still got a whole load of questions. I don't know shit either. I couldn't do shit after I got in the dream. I don't even know that brat. I don't know what you're doing and why you keep dying. You're on your own there. That was so unreasonable. But, so that was how it was. So the only thing you really know is that time around Fujiyoshi keeps looping back. You don't know the mystery, incidents, or phenomena that happen in Fujiyoshi, but you know that the looping is caused by something here. That's why you give me memories of the previous loops, to help me find the cause behind the looping phenomena. But then the looping suddenly stopped. I didn't get to the heart of it, and the monster showed up. The anomaly reached the ending it desired, the demise of this country. Man, what's up with your ability to suss stuff out? You got mochi for brains or something? Now that was uncalled for. At first the dream just looped around, but when some outsider came in, it started going all weird and shit. He made a huge mess of things, and that right there's the result. The dream changed because of me? Did this thing mean the fact that I used the looping to try out various options and saw a bunch of timelines? You went and pulled some fucked up shit, huh? I couldn't deny that. I really was fucked up this loop. But hold on. Victory as a wolf brought about a giant monster that destroyed the country? That made next to no sense. That couldn't be it. I was missing something. Time's up. It's gonna be rough, so clench your teeth or something. What are you gonna do? The loop ended, didn't it? Like I said, I'm a specialist. What do you mean? I used my power to loop back to when the loop was still happening. Huh? That sounds so absurd it seems impossible. Well, I can do it, but only once. An intervention this major would sure as shit be noticed by the dreamer. They'd probably think the first time was a glitch, but there'd be no second chance. They'll know it's the work of another dream wielder. We'll be fucked for real then. I'm more skilled, but they're millions of times more powerful. I'd be taken by the dream, and that would be it. No one could help you then. And it'd all be how they want it. Exactly, so yeah, don't come back here no matter what. Search for a solution anywhere but here. Basically, I had to prevent this outcome. Gather info from the loops, arrive at the truth, and do something about the dreamer that created the loop and called this monster, huh? What the hell? Wasn't this a story about taking care of some werewolves? What happened to that? Alright, here we go, now die a hardy death. Wait, 1 million sheep! Seriously? And so, questioning the weight of 1 million sheep, I died. can't believe you killed me. You killed Haruaki. I can't believe it. Back over there so you're away from that. Rage in Gulp. Okay. I have a question. What happens if I do go back to that? Do I just get an ending? I wonder if like dialogue changes. I kind of want to check. Prepare yourself for something. I think it said prepare yourself for the next loop again. Raging loop. Raising group. Game overlord. Obtain ending 20. Ending loop and giant monster. Can I know what happens if I go there? Is it something I should witness? Can I get a thing? Possibly save just in case it punishes you for that. Fair. Thanks to the sacrifices of Kuri-san and Haruchan, I won as a wolf, or I should have, but then a series of incomprehensible events occurred, such as the resurrection of God and the demise of Japan due to the sudden appearance of a giant monster legion. Just then, a mysterious sheep appeared, revealed it had given me my loop memories, and said I was trying to stop the dream. To prevent this horrible outcome, it returned me to the loop once again. Where are the keys I need to reach the truth? So now I gotta go. Ending number 3. Watch the hint corner? Sure. Hey there, Chief. Congratulations. Seriously. As the title indicates, you have ended the darkest main route. Darkness on a high note. The wolves won and everyone lived happy ever after. Well, okay, the country was still on the verge of destruction and all. Oh, I finally showed up in the main story. I'm still popping up in the eye catch and all, but I'd like to introduce myself in the main story as well. Now, before I move on to the hint, there's something I gotta say. This is Rock Bottom. From now on, Haruaki Fusashi, the most twisted protagonist in Kemco's visual novel series, will begin his counterattack against fate. We've seen 3 hells and many different deaths so far, Chief. Lend your power to me and that bastard to the very end. This one is ending 3, a new day is dawn. You did your best alongside Haruaki Fusashi, and this was yet another path you had to take. You made no mistakes, so take comfort in that. From this, you obtained key 20, which is the final key in the list according to numbering, but you're still missing keys. This is how it's supposed to be, so don't worry. You will now need to find 5 keys, the final keys necessary to opening the final door. Which is, okay. So, that's 1, 3, 8, 9, 19. They're all hidden in various places in the story you've seen so far. There's some of you who'd like to try to give in the scenario chart a good hard look as you remember what happened in the story so far and look for valuable points. But if you're impatient, I recommend you start by going to there, which I didn't check. Yeah, that's right, that dumbest shit quiz Chibi Serizawa gave when drinking with her. Key 20 opens a locked choice there. Yep. With all the truths he's seen so far, what kind of answer will Haruaki Fusashi give Chibi Serizawa? This is a key point. There are other keys that could be unlocked, but we'll only tell you about this one so you don't get confused. The truly lazy will get another hint at the next destination, so you should aim to clean them in order. Now that's strange, I hadn't planned on providing such generous hints. Maybe now that we're all at the story's turning point, I'm getting excited. That ain't like me at all. With that said, that's it for this time. Die another hearty death. Cool. I mean, let's just be real. Like, we know. Sorry, we're going to save real quick. Like, we know where to go because I've paid attention to everything. But I just want to. So we'll go here. So if I skip through everything, I'm just seeing. Okay, it doesn't do anything. It doesn't do shit. That would have been cool. But now you get to do Paranorman side shenanigans and bounce around. So I haven't played that game, but that is on my list of things to play. So thanks for that, I guess. I mean, you could have said like Zero Escape. I guess that would probably have been a better choice rather than a recent game, but oh well. I have no idea what a Zero Escape is. But you know Paranorman Site? Really? Huh. That never occurred to me. Same sort of shit, bouncing around timelines. That's the better one to probably bring up since it's a game I played. So anyway. You're desperate, you need an alibi, you're a thirsty perv, you feel guilty if you let me die, all of them. At that moment, my head was flooded with information. It felt like my mind was crushed by a million sheep. Oh, it was. Crap, why did I forget? Did my memories carry over in a weird way because the method from back then was weird? Well, then again, this wouldn't be the first time my memories didn't carry over properly. Maybe I should have counted myself lucky for remembering it all. I had tons of things to think about. About the beast in the village, the giant monster, the dream enveloping Fujiyoshi, as well as looping the sheep had told me about. But this wasn't the time to worry about that. Huh? Haraki-san, what's wrong? Shiemi's alive! Real quick, I actually want to check something real fast. Maru. So, I didn't... Excuse me. 1, 3, 11, 12, 22, and 27. So we're pretty much near the end, is what it seems like. Anyway, let's see. Maraki-san, what's wrong? This girl. One time, she, fearful of God, faced the wolves with me and eventually met an awful end in Saranaga. Another time, she was a cold-blooded wolf that silenced one of her own and then, when cornered, tried to kill everyone. And last time, she interfered with us wolves by, for whatever reason, killing herself on the first day of the feast. Her smile that night had been burned into my mind, continuing to torment me. Chiemi Serizawa. Hold on. I knew that reason why she'd done that. It was simple. She'd been dropping hints ever since the very start. They were more like slips of the tongue, small and almost impossible to notice. Hey, you not feeling too good? Do you hate this sort of stuff? Sorry, I guess I got carried away. All of them. Huh? All the options you named are correct. Yeah, there were wolves here in Fujiyoshi. Yeah, you were a real murderer. And correct me if I'm wrong, but before I came to Saranaga, you were about to saw off shotgun barrels. Preparing to kill people is something you'd want to hide, so you needed an alibi. Huh? Why? You remember the previous loops? I fucking called it! I fucking called it! I fucking called it! I fucking called it! That 20 was gonna be that. I fucking called that shit so early. I fucking called that shit. You should hurry before I change my mind. Hey, that might have been our final farewell in this life, so I wanted to make it nice. It was weird. You said you agreed to go on a road trip with me because you were going to die anyway, but the mist hadn't even shown up yet when I invited you. That means you knew the mist was about to arrive. She lost track of what she was supposed to know and not know. It happened to me too. Araki-san, you ran away because of trouble with women, right? I thought you figured out that I was dumped just because you were sharp. But if you had memories of the previous loops, it's only natural for you to know that I was dumped. I told that to you myself. Play with me, hold my hand, take me on a bike ride far away, let me spend all day sleeping in your arms. The moment that confirmed it was when you came to me as a wolf and told me about your feelings. Back then I wasn't a bike rider, but a suicidal guy who arrived here through Kame Fujiyoshi. You'd have no reason to think that you could just hitch a bike ride with me. You know that the real abnormality here isn't the feast, but the looping. It wouldn't make sense but screaming noises that I can't say. She suddenly screamed. In her hand, she held a familiar hunting knife. Didn't work. Dropping it all on her so suddenly was too much for her to handle. Though regret dulled my mind, my vision sharpened, and I saw her slowly charge at me. Might have been used to death by now, but I didn't want it to be slow and painful. I used the time I was given to just close my eyes. An impact. I collapsed on my back. A sharp pain assaulted me. At least I thought it was going to, but it didn't. There was just a warm weight against my body. I slowly opened my eyes. Her face was brimming with intense emotion. As her eyes filled with tears, the hand with the knife went limp. The blade fell free. No way. There's no way I wasn't the only one. This is just a dream, isn't it? I'm about to wake up and start the feast again, right? Don't give me false hope. Not with his face, at least. Oh, you really like Haraki. Like, this is the canon one? Let's fucking go. I fucking called it! This isn't a dream. Well, to be clear, though, it might be reduced to a dream eventually. This moment is real right now. And since we share the memories the dreams give us, the moments we share will never be merely dreams. Araki-san, I don't have any weapons on me right now. I won't strangle you either. I won't do anything at all, so can I cling to you? Yeah. Let's go! Araki-san! Werewolf Chimmy saved Haraki for last, true. Oh, this is great. She clung to my chest and wailed, "The true ship! Let's fucking go!" I'm so fucking excited. I called this shit so goddamn early. I'm so savvy. Emotion, tears, none of it was restrained. I was so scared. I was so scared. It was so lonely. I was the only one going back again and again and again and again. I killed and got killed by them all so many times, and their deaths, their words, they all just kept piling up. How many loops have you had? I stopped counting after 100. It must have been hard. It was. Crying noises that I can't do because people are asleep. Sick. As I embraced her, crying without end, I felt something myself as well. This was a hell from which not even death could save you. Wandering through it all alone, one couldn't help feeling frail and helpless. I spent most of my time here chasing after the mystery behind it all. As long as I still had ideas to try, the mystery was both my greatest fear and fascination. What if I ran out of ideas? What if I tried everything I could think of, only to discover there was no escape from this loop, and that I was a prisoner of it for eternity? My worst fear was a mystery without an answer. As one faced with that very possibility, I could really relate to her. The alcohol must have made her more emotional too. She was crying unceasingly, and as someone who cared about appearances, I had to hold back from getting emotional myself. She might be the dreamer, though, with the necklace. I took her almost an hour to calm down. She began talking. I wouldn't have minded if she just went to sleep, but the joy and excitement from finally finding someone who shared her experience probably wouldn't have let her. It was time to check some answers. I'm impressed that you knew. Yeah, I was actually sawing off barrels. And this time I'm an outsider who ended up not participating in the feast, and you didn't have your guns, right? Is that because I interrupted you and made you leave the shotguns in Saranaga? Seriously, you really are a detective, aren't you? If I was, I wouldn't be relying on theories and assumptions like this. It's an evidence-based profession. That's why I need to ask. Next question. Are you a murderer? No. Not yet, this time anyway. At least I hadn't killed anyone before coming back to Yasumizu. But you had 2 guns, right? I just wanted to go hunting with Kanzo Ji-chan. At first, anyway. Fair point, fair point. She continued to talk. It was May of her 3rd year in college. Time to go job hunting. Why is this the music? With the job market in the state it was, most of the leads she found on work sounded more like horror stories. Some couldn't find a job despite checking 100 places. Some went straight to exploitative businesses. Some had all the credit in the world, yet ended up working on the docks or something. Jimmy had no particular profession in mind, nor did she find any ideas at her seminars, so she was at a loss. Her situation was made even worse when her boyfriend left her. Damn. Huh, so you're like me? Shut up. He was your second boyfriend, right? Why'd he break up with you? You remember all the details, huh? Anyway, he said that girls with guns creep him out. That might have been weird from a normal man's perspective, but personally, that just intrigued me. How long have you been dating? We got together at the start of Golden Week, and he left me right after it was over. Damn, that was quick. Ouch. Did I just kill you? Anyway, the failed relationships and life in the city in general was starting to get to her, so she started to consider moving back here after graduation. Back to Fujiyoshi, a place she supposedly hated. Hey, you gotta remember Best Girl. You gotta remember Best Girl. I've forgotten most of the bad things after moving away from here. She used job hunting as a pretext to take a short vacation, and she returned here 2 days ago on Friday. You know, I wish that I did this all in the same stream on Monday before a bazillion flies decided to assault me, because then we could have stopped right before this and then did a whole stream of just all of the other stuff. But fuck it, we'll just keep going. I don't care. She figured that refreshing her mind and body here would help her with the job search. The locals neither celebrated nor disliked the fact that she came back. They just gave her a normal welcome. It hadn't changed. She, however, had. In the past, I used to study after waking up at 5, but now I'm so used to the Eagsley college life that my circadian rhythm is completely off. I even forgot my MD player, and I couldn't borrow from anyone here since no one had one. Man, did I think that the rural life was uncomfortable. No convenience stores nearby either, and since everyone else is so frugal, they don't even feel like drinking with me. I expected something different, to be honest. This is where I belong and all that. Yeah, no, this place is half abandoned. Why'd I ever expect something like that? I realized that this isn't the place for me either. I slept and woke up on May 10th, yesterday morning. That was the point I looped back to at first. That was unexpected. I asked and found out something more. The point to which she looped back to had changed twice so far. What? The first time was the morning of May 10th. This return point stayed consistent for 57 times. Of course, it was just a normal day for me the first time. I spent 2 days doing nothing, and then the mist came. I was hanged on the first day. They said something about me bringing corruption from the outside. Horrible, right? When is the set? Minidisc? Listen. We love Walkmans. I can still remember the first time my breathing stopped. Then I looped back. At first I thought it was all just a long nightmare. But then the mist came again. I looped back many times, and no matter what I said or did, I couldn't make it past the 4th day. I was really sad about it. I thought it showed just how worthless I was to them. Yeah, sorry, I know, it's not that simple. But by my 57th death, I just figured that was how it was. Not like it was a big deal to them. I was a wolf after all. The wolves back then were Jimmy and Tei Yamawaki-san. With Shemi being easy to suspect and Taesan not handling herself well, they just couldn't win the feast. Still, they successfully brutalized a few people before both of them got hanged. In the end, Shemi took the initiative and committed murders with her own 2 hands. It hadn't taken long for her to try and just kill everyone while breaking the rules. Her trial and error became a matter of just who'd I kill and how. After that, there was a change. Mako-chan wandered in. It happened a day after the first restart point. It was already 2 a.m. now, so that would be the morning of yesterday, May 11th. The boring, meaningless day suddenly became a big deal. The reason for that was the lost girl who wandered in from upstream Saranaga. Takumi-san had told me that it wasn't uncommon for Saranaga to bring corpses, but this was the first time it brought a living human. Not just any living human, a lost girl of unknown origins. According to Chiemi, if there was some trouble in Yasumizu, they couldn't just call someone to inform them about it. Instead, there was an unspoken agreement that they would just bring it up while chatting with the driver of the truck that brought food and supplies here once a week. They mentioned the lost girl, and since the driver was in touch with the Higuchis, the village heads would know about it too. If something was done about a problem they were told about, that was great, but if it wasn't, it meant that Kama Fujiyoshi didn't plan to get involved. They had tried to get help by phone once, but that got the truck driver to just not bring the supplies for a week, which was pretty messed up. The next supply run would be Thursday, some time away, so they didn't know what to do with the girl. Tae-san screeched about chasing her out, but in the end, Fukaku-san agreed to take her in. The problem was solved for anyone but Chiemi anyway. I mean, she just appeared out of nowhere on the 58th time. I wondered what that was all about. It was a change, just big enough to make me wonder if there was hope in this nightmare. Oh, I wonder if Mako knows that the loops are real. That wouldn't surprise me now, but it would have like 3 streams ago. The feast soon started and the Guardian assignments changed a lot. Takumi Nichan was the snake and revealed it on the first day. You probably know this timeline. Oh, so basically the timeline where I was alive but didn't participate was similar to the one where I just wasn't there at all. Still, she was human in the new timeline, and that change gave her hope, so she started experimenting again. It didn't take long for her to despair again. Takumi Nichan died early, and either got hanged or killed by wolves early. One time, Kira-san went crazy and poisoned the food. The ones who died happened to be the wolves, and we won. I left Yasumizu then, but late night bus got engulfed in mist, and I don't know what happened, but it probably crashed and I got sent back. The return point was now Sunday morning. Shit, I'm so sorry. The moment Mako-chan wanders in, it became the new routine. I still didn't see a way out. The morning of May 11th, it was the restarting point that she'd went back to more often than any other. Overcome by despair, she started trying to challenge the feast's rules. She tried escaping the mist, surviving the corruption after killing more than one a day, etc. After dozens of tries, she concluded there was no way to escape these laws. By that point, she killed each of the locals dozens of times. Jesus Christ! Whenever I saw their faces, I began thinking of their corpses and dying screams from this time or that time. These memories began just popping up in my mind. It wasn't like it hurt or anything. I'd actually gotten too okay with it. I actually began to think that it might have been the true reality. That everyone had already died and become Yomibito, that the story I heard as a wolf was right. That's when I just started doing whatever and seeing whatever stuck. I even tried killing everyone before the feast began, even though I knew there was no way it could lead me to victory. And well, it didn't. No matter how hard I tried, I was either hanged, killed, or got caught in the mist and died. At that point, I was already tired of dying. It hurt, of course, but more than that, it just became boring. The only way to beat the boredom now was to find new ways to kill people. The many impossible deaths happening on repeat had warped her heart and mind. So yeah. Jesus. I'm a real murderer now. At least you're happy about it? That wasn't a thing to say with such a smile. Araki-san, don't become a murderer. I finally realized what that meant. Don't become like me. That's what you wanted to say, right? Yeah. It was a well-placed warning indeed. Unfortunately back then, I not only missed it, but went on to become the absolute worst murderer I could think of. The arrival was the third change since Mako-chan came. The starting point moved about 12 hours, too. The night of May 11th, the day before the feast, as well as the day I got lost on my bike ride and Shimi went out to prepare to kill. That was the newest starting point, and the one she and I actually shared. At first I didn't expect much. You were just a funny guy who'd probably die like Mamiya-san and Hashimoto-san. But after you came, for some reason, more and more changes started happening. Mamiya-san survived for once, and I became a wolf again. And, she's blushing. What? Nothing. Anyway, then Hashimoto-san survived and the roles changed. Did we fuck in a timeline? Did we fuck in a timeline? Wait a second. I understood everything once I saw Haru-chan go to the construction site. Oh yeah, since the wolves did their jobs when everyone was sheltering, anyone who stayed outside and watched would quickly know who they were. You were human until then. When you became a wolf, I was worried that you'd go insane like I did. That's why I said that. I didn't really want to remember that. Once I become a wolf, I intended not to be bound by Yasumizu's rules, but in the end I become another madman. And to make it worse, I ended up dancing in the palm of God's hand. Chimi's words might have become a subconscious break for the madness racing within me. That was why her face came to mind whenever I was partaking in something really messed up. Anyway, this reminded me of another mystery. Wait, how did you go outside back then? I just stood on the second floor of the dorm and shot any dogs going up. Wait, what? You can beat the night just like that? A gun is all you need? No, it just buys you some time. Eventually the real deal comes. Real deal? The thing with the wolf head and human body? Nothing. That has to be a human wearing clothes like the ones given to the wolves. That werewolf, mad wolf, works for Shinai-san, servant of Okami-sama. You're a wolf, so you saw the figures in the Hanging Pines graveyard, right? That was Shinai-san, and those who mete out his punishments are werewolves. And there are lots of them. Fair. Shinai was Okami. Great Lord Shinai and Okami-sama were the same thing. Nomiya-san said that too. Sounds like a Son of Okami reference? I guess so. 3 creatures who came to you in a dream. Besides them, there were lots of monsters who carried out their will. Try to imply that the dogs, the bringers of corruption, were the servants of the badger, Regina-sama. Using those werewolves as underlings might have been the power of Great Lord Shinai as Okami-sama. So even if you get rid of the bringers of corruption, you'll always die when faced with that thing? Chemi nodded. It didn't look like I could go anywhere from here, so I would just leave it at that. Back to what we were talking about. Why did you decide to wait for us outside? I thought I'd just end it. Huh? I was all alone in the feast, but there was this person who helped me out a lot. Me. Honestly, you just made it a bigger mess. Well, I died a lot of times thanks to you. Sorry. Oh, don't worry, I killed you tons of times too. Really? Then I guess we're even. You're quick to bounce back, aren't you? You weren't that upset, were you? I only care about it if you did. Anyway, who's the person? Rikaku-san, Rikaku Uematsu. She helped you? She's a Fujiyoshi person to the core, but I'm sure she's the best person here. Sure, she's rampantly superstitious and super conservative, but also refined, devoted, and she treats outsiders as well as outcasts like me like equals. She isn't disgusted by us. A bedroom woman servant who took in anything, huh? If Fujiyoshi had a good old ex about it, it's probably her. She's like a huge pile of all things good about the past. You fell for her too, didn't you? No, not really. Liar. Well, I can see the appeal though. Anyway, she's an anomaly here in Fujiyoshi. Even in Kama Fujiyoshi. Yeah, the Uematsu are on the decline, and, well, it's a family with circumstances and everyone knows it. Oh. She's pretty, but also too weird for most to deal with. The Rosato Blockhead is probably her only fan. She barely even gives him the time of day, though. Jimmy grinned cruelly. She was pretty hard on him, huh? I see, so why are you indebted to her? For many things. She defended me during the feast, became my shield when someone went wild and tried to kill me, and took in the corruption, among other things. What do you mean? Do you remember how in this timeline the local old man and Mochi both die at the same time? And how she becomes the Yomibito the next day? Yeah, I do. You know something about it? The old man killed Mochi. I killed the old man. Well, that's a reveal. Interesting. That makes sense that the old man kills Mochi, and then that she kills the old man. But what's the whole deal with the old man? Huh? I'm not surprised that you killed him, but the old wolf guy killed Mochi? That pisses me off. I was pretty surprised too. When we split up and searched for them, I found Mochi already dead. The old man left and attacked me, so I reflexively, you know. I need time. So he was planning on getting away if he lost the vote, even if it meant killing someone. Yeah, Kanzo-ji-chan probably suspects that too, so in times where he's alive, he just hangs him by force. That's weird. Killing more than one per day or trying to run away means death. Yeah, I know that better than anyone. How did he plan to avoid dying? Was he just not thinking about it? I think he was just too senile to think that far ahead. Possible? Honestly, I couldn't help but feel like he'd chosen to kill out of malice. I really had to find a way to get some information out of him. Wait, more importantly, how did you survive after sploosh-splashing the old wolf guy? I told you, Rikaku-san took in the corruption for me. Huh? You mean she passed on the feast penalty to herself? Okay, yeah. After splashing the old man, I was like, oh man, did I mess up? Guess this is it for this time. That's when Rikaku-san came out of the mist. She was surprised, but then said, you will not die. I will take in your sin and corruption. You sound just like her. I know, right? Should we really talk about this so casually? The sun mood had vanished, and we were now talking about this stuff over a few beers. I think it's fine. We're not murderers yet. Let the past loops get to you, and you'll go nuts in no time. This was bothering me so much, and you took care of it like it was nothing. Oh well, I guess I'll take it easy. Anyway, Rikaku-san protected me, so I went back to change my clothes. Ooh, we talked then, remember? Who's there? Oh, Haraki-san. Oh, Chimmy yet again. What a twist. What's that supposed to mean? Sorry, but you should stay there right now. This might be really bad. Hold on, open up. Oh yeah, so you were changing out of your bloody clothing back then. Yep, I like that getup, so I have a spare. Now that you mentioned it, I did feel like she said that. Anyway, you went against the one per day rule. Yeah, from my experience, you always suffer the corruption at night after breaking it. That timeline was the only exception. And since Rikaku-san had taken it in, like she said, the corruption went to her, huh? Wasn't she supposed to be torn apart? True. That's Yomi's corruption. Yomi's corruption? The strongest, worst corruption. Touching it makes you a Yomibido. Jimmy was now acting afraid of something. Okay, I get why you feel indebted to Rikaku-san, why you wanted to give up on the feast and how you got here. Dude, my fucking allergies. Now for a more serious question. You probably won't like this, but it's necessary to get to the heart of the matter. Can you help me out? Of course, if it's something you can't handle, you could just stop. Shemi lightly nodded. You are invested in something supernatural that the others here aren't. One of them is the corruption and the other is God. Tell me about both. You remember everything even when you die, so I don't wanna. You'll hate and be disgusted by me forever. I don't want that. You're the only one who can understand me. It's fine. I didn't feel much about you being a murderer, right? But it's fine. You promise you won't hate me? I promise. After a few seconds of hesitation, she finally gathered her resolve. She then put her hands inside the collar and took something out. A metallic trinket on a metal chain, so we get to finally learn what this necklace is. Showing 3 symbols of wolves. A whirl and a diamond. It was the sign of the Yomotsu Okami. Remember the time I picked it up in Saranaga after I'd won against Chimi as the snake? So it belonged to her, huh? Yes, as the title showed. This is... No, don't look! Serizawa-sama, I am so sorry. That is a corruption not even I can take in. It came back to me. Rikaku-san had discovered something pendant-like that Chimi was wearing. After that, Chimi went nuts and ran off into the mist. That meant that what I'd found in Saranaga on the other timeline had been dropped by her after she jumped off the cliff. And I finally realized another thing. Here, the talisman with the sign of the Yomotsu Okami, Yomi itself, was the worst of omens, and actually wearing it couldn't have been a good thing. It can only represent the worst, most fearful and maddening of things. This is something I've been wearing since I was little. You know what this means, right? A whirl and a claw? The sign of the Yomotsu Okami, the lord of the corrupted hunting grounds. Why do you have that? Because I'm corrupted. My old name was Chemi Meguruma. What? She's a... It's badger, right? Megurumas are the badgers. No. Megurumas are... the wolves? Something? Majim... Fuck. Meguruma is the 4th noble house, right? Or the house that doesn't exist anymore. Meguruma, the tower lookouts, the top of the 4 head families, and Kamafujiyoshi, the snake. The snake! Thank you, game, for reminding me. Sorry, there's a lot to remember and unpack here. But okay, so she's... a snake. Chimi Meguruma was the daughter of the snake. She didn't have any siblings, so she was supposed to become the wife of the man who'd been adopted and become the head of the family. At least until she was 5. Chimi's eyes turned dry and empty. That day, I playfully opened the iron door to the basement of the 3rd lookout. I was told never to go there, and the door had that symbol on it. And screaming noises. She unleashed a wolf. Calm down, Chimi-chan. You saw dogs, didn't you? She came back to her senses and light returned to her eyes. I knew it. I could see part of the conspiracy. The dogs bit you, right? Yeah. As it became harder for her to speak, she pulled up her sleeves and showed me her wrists. Gucci monkey, Nosato crow, Matsu. I knew Matsu and Nosato. I forgot who Gucci's monkey. There were old but clearly visible scars on them. Anyone who takes in Yomi's corruption will eventually go mad and die. We Megurumas had that drilled into our heads since we were little. Why did the Meguruma have them? Saranaga isn't the only entrance to Yomi. It has its mouth open in many places. The Uematsu family used it to protect us against it, but they couldn't do it anymore, so the Meguruma took it upon themselves. Yomi nodded. A daughter who received Yomi's corruption wasn't suitable for the Meguruma. That's why, just like Mochi, I was disowned. Sorry, I've calmed down now. Don't force yourself. It's fine. I had my surname changed to that of a branch family and was sent to Yasumizu, again just like Mochi. Huh, so they changed surnames because of the disowning. Oribe was probably Kuri-san's maiden name, but yeah, I could see how they worked around this. No one seemed to know that you were a Meguruma, though. The Meguruma are a very secretive family. They hide any births and deaths in the family for about 10 years. You can't shut out gossip, can you? The Meguruma can. The people who do the reports and everyone at the funeral home are Meguruma. I see, but why are they so secretive? I left when I was little, so I can't be sure. But they probably think that secrets have power. Secrets. Mysteries can mobilize people, huh? Intelligence management was extremely important when keeping a group in line, especially for the Meguruma, who were doing something dangerous. This pendant is proof of the corruption. I'm corrupted, so I'm fated to become part of Yomi. But I was told that it would hold the corruption back and keep it under control until the time came. Yomotsu Okami was scary Yomibido, which I believed controlled other Yomibido, so I thought this would keep me, a corrupted Yomibido, from going wild. I was really scared of that happening. That was nothing more than her earnest beliefs. That was why I understood just how pure and profound her feelings were. She'd come to know immense despair at an extremely young age. So we went to Yasumizu, and then what? Well, I went nuts. I was young, but I knew that I was corrupted and sent to a corrupted place. Tei-Bachan was my primary victim. She was the one in charge of the dining hall, and I always refused the food. Oh, so that was why they were still so distant. I entered elementary school as a Serizawa, and I was the only student from Yasumizu back then. It was pretty hard. I was bullied, and if I fought back, they'd team up and make me out to be the bad guy. It kind of worked out because the teacher knew what was going on. But then the teacher transferred to another school. My situation got really bad. Then Oribe-san and the family moved in. Then Yasukun, Haru-chan, and Yoshi-kun started going to school. I became the big sister character, so I had to do my best. And then, well, you know, you kick the crap out of someone. I kicked the crap out of someone. Well, I got chewed out and punished pretty harshly, and it might have made the situation even worse for Yasumizu. But all the bullying stopped, so I'm proud of what I did. I see. So that was why the children here adored her, but she felt awkward around the adults. So was it a conscious sense of duty that made you do it? I was mostly just pissed. I don't mind. I don't mind. It's cool. It's cool. I was a pretty rough girl. But at the core of it all, there was the fear of corruption, right? Deep down, you were scared by the thought you'd go insane eventually, or were just desperate. You know everything, don't you? Sorry, I didn't mean to seem like a know-it-all. It's fine. I'm glad to have someone who at least tries to understand me. Jimmy giggled. She could laugh at it now, but probably only because she'd grown up and realized a few things. Did you look into a lot when you left for college, like about the dogs and stuff? Well, yeah. Should you really still be afraid of them? I'm scared of God and its corruption. The science behind the disease doesn't change much. Yeah, then let's talk about that. In one of the timelines I was in, I met God. Huh? Pretty sure I know what kind of thing God is, but I feel like it's a bit different from the image of God you gave me. Jimmy, can you see God, as in visually? Everyone has met God, maybe they just can't see it. I think it's insane, right? The looping and God itself are already pretty insane, to be honest. I'm ready to accept anything at this point. Fair fucking point, dude. How flexible. Are you an octopus? Sorry. For some reason, every time I hear the animal octopus, I think of the, it was years and years ago. It's the Yogg's Cast podcast that they did, years and years and years ago. And there was an animation, I think it's probably still up on YouTube somewhere, but it's like 12, 13 years ago, of them talking about the possibility of an octopus being a flight attendant. And it's like, your emergency exits are here. And like just points everywhere and flops to the ground. And I don't know why, but that's stuck with me ever since I was little. It just makes me laugh every time I read octopus. So, why did everyone like comparing me to weird stuff so much? Yeah, I can see it. Is it different than the 3 you see when you get the blessing of the wolf? God is on everyone. Even little girls like Mako? It's not really clear on her. It seems big though, whatever it is. I was told that there are 3 gods in Yasumizu. Huh? Who told you that? That's a secret. The only Yasumizu gods I know are Shinai-sama and God. Shinai-san is a god, no? Says Haruaki and Kit. Shinai-san is a god, but not the god I have in mind. The god on Haru-chan is the one you're thinking of, right? Yeah. I think I get it. Really? Tell me more. Not right now. Hey, don't be like that. No. At this point, I was now able to split up and think about the problems I was involved with right now individually. One problem was the prevention of the Feast of the Yomi Purge. Another problem was the prevention of the giant monster's resurrection. And the third problem was the ending of the loop. They were all related, but they all need different solutions. And to fix the first one, the feast, I'd have to use the looping to do something about God. Specifically, the god that had Chiemi, as well as everyone else in Yasumizu completely imprisoned. Weak, powerless god my ass. This one was a pain to deal with because they were powerless. I had to be careful about how I dealt with it, as well as Chiemi, God's prisoner. We'll keep it a secret for a while longer. Why? Because I know that secrets have power. We continued exchanging info. I couldn't keep the sheep hidden, so I started with that. When I loop back, I always see a sheep, and that's probably the reason why I keep my memories. What about you? I don't remember anything like that. Okay. That meant that the reason she kept her memories was different from mine. Also, her memory retention was less consistent than mine. Some memories actually felt like a dream for her and often lacked clarity. She said that, for all she knew, she might have looped a lot more times than she realized. I was curious why she kept her memories, but I set it aside for now. Anyway, according to the sheep, the loops were happening because of the dream. I thought over in my own way the things it quickly shared with me. Something had absorbed Fujiyoshi and its general area into a dream. It's probably the gas station attendant. It was absurd, but I had to accept it. An area of some square kilometers had been detached from the real world, meaning that this was like a virtual reality. The space could be restarted, and it probably had a different flow of time. I spent a lot of loops here, but I bet not even a second had passed in reality. This dream could happen over and over without wasting any time. That gave the mastermind behind it countless chances to create the ending they wanted, and once that happened, the dream would stop being a dream. It would become prophetic, basically, or rather stop being reset as just a dream and turn everything that happened into reality. That meant that I could be going about my business, still thinking that I could retry it all, when the master of the dream could just yank the rug out from me, under me, and be like, nope. Funny. This was as if... Holy shit. This was as if reality had an intrusive editor who told the author to turn anything he didn't like into a dream. Man, was that messed up. According to the sheep and Chimmy's info, the range of the dreams had changed. At first, the dream just looped around, but when some outsider came in, it just started going all weird and shit. It made a huge mess of things, and that right there is the result. The dream changed because of me? No, it changed because of Mako. After that, there was a change Mako-chan wandered in. The arrival was the third change since Mako-chan came. The starting point moved about 12 hours, too. Interesting. I had no idea how many loops the sheep had been through since starting, but it did mention that things didn't change much at the start. That meant that the result was the same no matter how much the dream repeated, far from the ending the dream's architect desired. That was when they brought in the first outsider, probably Chiemi. The method was most likely moving the dream's start sometime further. When Chiemi had returned to Fujiyoshi, she had already entered the dream, unwittingly become trapped in the loop. Because of the start of the loop, the starting point was pushed a bit later. Chiemi became a character in the dream. Chiemi was the first one who had memories of the previous loops, and with her joining, the dream began to change. However, those changes didn't satisfy the mastermind, especially with Chiemi not really doing anything constructive. Thus, they moved the start a bit later again, this time taking in Mako, who from what it seemed didn't have memories of the previous loops, but we probably don't know that because she's a kid and she probably does. It wasn't hard to guess that nothing was changed by her joining. The third one to enter was me, and I, unaware of the mastermind's plot, tried out various things and ended up fulfilling their wishes. The sheep said that the mastermind still didn't know about its involvement. However, they must have known that Chiemi and I often did unexpected things, though I wasn't sure if they were aware that we had our memories. Oh god, the flies are coming back. They either didn't know about it or just didn't know the cause. So I guess we should... Holy shit. I'm messing with everything, dude. So I guess we shouldn't reveal that we remember stuff, huh? Yeah, especially around the people of Yasumizu. Huh, what? You're saying that one of them is the mastermind? That's likely. At the very least, I'm pretty sure that Meguruma have nothing to do with the looping. Why? Because their goal is different than Great Lord Shinai's. But who could it be? Who's hiding another god? So it's not Mako, even though Mako was probably the sheep in disguise. That's my guess at this rate. So who is hiding? Is it Tay? Tay wears the same thing that... But no, Kanzo also does. Oh, is it Kaori? I wonder if it's Kaori. Oh my gosh, it could be Kaori. That would be crazy, like her insanity for her son's stuff. Jeez. Is it possible for a person to hide their god from your sight? I can't really see the gods of the people I don't know. I see. Basically, her ability was like an eye for reading people. Even though you couldn't know for sure based on just faces, some people could intuitively figure out certain things about others by just finding out more about them. In her case, such info was just more visual. Might have been a kind of synesthesia. There were people in the world who perceived numbers as colors. With that in mind, I shouldn't have expected her supernatural power to be the solution to the supernatural problem. Instead, I should rely on her ability to retain memories. What do we do now? I'd like to see more endings so I can help set some conditions. The only outcomes I know are the one where wolves achieve a flawless victory, the one where humans achieve a normal victory, and one where wolves achieve a Pyrrhic victory. The Pyrrhic victory ended up summoning the monster, so that's no good, but I don't actually know the exact cause of the summoning. Was it related to the feast, or did I step on some other landmine? I have no idea. That's why I think we have to try and challenge the feast a whole bunch more times. Seriously? Yeah. What about running off into the forest and having a good time there? We'll die, right? There might be a way out somewhere. Oh, that's true. Let's search for one. Honestly, I didn't think it would get us any closer to the truth, but I didn't put much effort into protesting either. She had been in so many feasts that it became traumatic for her. She wanted to avoid going through it again. She didn't want to be more aware of what kind of murderer she was becoming. All right, I would do this with her until she was satisfied. Even if this was a challenge without a real end, it was worth it as long as she could find peace. We tried using our memories to quickly fix the bike and leave. We tried going out through Saranaga before the mist came. We waited until the mist came and tried to leave through the forest in full hiking gear I got from the convenience store. No idea why they were selling that. Because it's the fucking Gaston. In the end, we either were engulfed in mist and died before even realizing it, or were engulfed in mist and died without getting anywhere. In the latter cases, Jimmy either died by breaking apart again, or we were caught by those monsters. After trying it enough times, we both became used to it. Oh, I'm crumbling again, she'd say. Then let's stop, I replied as we aimed our guns at each other and killed one another. What? We're being so nonchalant about this. Taking advantage of shortcuts like that, we came back over and over and tried again. Nothing seemed to work, so we tried spending a night outside after the mist came. We got rid of the dogs with water and guns. I quickly found out that this was a mistake, since Jimmy couldn't keep her presence in mind. Unable to bear the tension and fear, she would mumble something about God and either run off or kill herself. Then, no matter what happened afterwards, I ended up killed by the monster-looking thing. Whether the monsters were actually real or not wasn't a problem anymore. I already known that any rule breakers would be punished. The problem here was that Shimmy still wanted to continue these pointless loops. Let's go there this time. Let's hide here this time. I patiently played along. Being certain that there was no point in this, I played along with her attempts to escape about 50 times. We continued to do this for a while before I told her to let me try something and somewhat forcefully took the lead. What I wanted to try was a feast victory with minimal casualties and how many days could be passed without murder. For that, we had to figure out what sort of rules govern the Guardian assignments. I actually had an idea for how it worked. The first time, the time I was the snake, the time I was a wolf, and the time Chimmy had first become a wolf. Over them all, I noticed that there were trends, such as Chimmy's tendency to become a wolf or Mochi's tendency to be a monkey. Fair. To find out the nature of these trends, I wrote down the Guardian distributions I knew on a table. First I tried putting the names in order, then writing down their guardians, but didn't find any patterns there. Takumi also sometimes becomes the snake a lot of the time, right? Then I had the idea to try basing it on their dwelling locations, and bingo. The monkey was obviously dependent on where the people lived, and they didn't change much across loops. It was clear that Takumi-san tended to get the snake, and I gotten it instead of him that time because our houses were close together. The same could be said about Koryu-san and Yoshitsugu-kun getting the crow. Basically, the guardians were given out to the houses rather than people. I was familiar with a way of allocating data that changed slightly, but not by a lot. I knew a means to bring about such results, a ghost leg lottery. It wasn't a completely random method. Even if you used tons of lines, the results wouldn't split up properly without intent. And even if there were new possible options, the results wouldn't change without removing or adding new lines. Even if you added 2 or 3 new options through ghost leg lottery, you would add them to the right and add a few branches, and that would leave the left side mostly unaffected. 2 or 3 lines would just shift the result a bit to the side, but not much farther than that. That had to be it, right? As in, someone held a ghost leg lottery to decide who got which guardian. That theory in mind, I sought out a particular person. Mochi. Whoa, why do you know my nickname? Ignore that and just look at this, it's a popular puzzle. Can you write down a ghost leg lottery with these results? I want you to make it so that removing this line does this and adding a line here does this. What? I have no idea how to do that. Just whatever feels right to you. Oh, like this? Yeah, Hugh's the fucking genius. Good. He actually met the conditions perfectly. How like him? Like hell a puzzle like this could be popular. His talent for getting the answer right without proof actually scared me. It was a talent that could turn society on its head, but that wasn't important at the moment. To see whether the ghost leg lottery was usable, I attacked the Inosato mansion once. Specifically, I broke the windows the day before the mist came, and he was so scared that he returned to Kamifujiyoshi next morning. My theory was that the lottery began with the settlement's upper region. That was why adding new people to the empty houses affected the guardian assignments, while Kiyonosuke continued to be human. Thus, without him, the roles would have to change drastically. With those conditions, I tried a case in which Mamiya-san and Hashimoto-san both died, while I took the Gen-san dude's place. I ended up being the snake, while Chimmy was the badger. The wolves ended up being Yoshitsugu-kun and Mochi. The ghost leg lottery was completely accurate. I don't understand this at all, but cool. I also tried looking into how the distribution worked before Mako came, and apparently there was a human missing in the middle. It confirmed that the guardians weren't handed out by a supernatural force, but through this ghost leg lottery. I need to look this up. My brain, I don't understand. I think I always be more familiar culturally in Japan. That's why I'm reading this. Oh, okay, I see. So it's like the game. It's like trying to think. For some people, it's the whole... okay. I kind of understand it. This is when we get out my favorite program of all time. Time for paint. So essentially the way this works is you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And A, B, C, D, and E. And essentially you just tell everybody, let's fill. Please fill with this. There. So we do this, right? So we do this and you're told, okay, choose 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And the way it works is it's already predetermined where everything goes. So we can say that for, or we'll just do this. So this 3 can go like to like C, or hold on. It's like that, like there's the chest game in Mario Party. I don't know how many people know about that, where like you choose a number and it like goes across in different like ways depending on where it hits. So if we do something like this for 5, we could follow 5 all the way down. So we start with 5. We follow 5 all the way down. Holy shit, dude. The flies are coming in fucking crazy. But we go down like here, go right here, do this again, and then we end up at E. But if we go with if we go with 3, 3 could go to B. And it's the same every single time because of how this is set up. So essentially, the way that they're saying it is that every single number has a corresponding place. You just need to find which corresponding place makes it to their proper point. That's the best way to put it. Using this, I could also create a lot of patterns. By changing my residence, I could get whatever guardian I wanted. A good one would allow me to get through it without any problem. At that moment, I excitedly told Chimmy that the feast was as good as ours. I'd never forget the dead eyes she looked at me with. So when will it end? I finally realized that I made a huge oversight. Chimmy had passed her limit long ago, and I'd forgotten that my sense for such things was a bit different than a normal person's. I wanted to clear the feast with a minimal number of deaths and find out how many days could get by without a murder. It required the agreement of all the participants. It wasn't something I could do myself, and I needed Chimmy to try with me. I didn't mind looping about 100 times more. She, however, didn't want to loop ever again. She tried weird things before because she wanted to try a method that could let her win quickly and easily, even if it was absurd. In her eyes, my plan to loop hundreds upon hundreds of times in case of trial and error was simply unacceptable. I was killed. She wanted to kill me, and so she shot me right up front. Jesus, Chimmy! Haraki-san, what if the winning move is to kill you 100 times? I realized I had never considered what a threat Chimmy with memories could be. I was killed over and over again. Over and over. Sometimes she killed me right upon seeing me in the darkness of Saranaga or the dining hall. This is so damn fun. Your expression is so new to me. I love it. Sometimes she acted out events like I remembered them, then grinned and killed me when I was completely defenseless. Did you forget? Too bad. Chibi-chan Dark Edition still alive. Apparently she didn't remember things until I provoked it somehow. That must have been the number of loops she spent alone was way lower than the number of loops since we started sharing memories. The loop count was probably way over 100. She was a whole lot more damaged than I first thought. Oh, but after she killed me 63 times, it finally got to me. I've been attacked in Saranaga about 20 times now. Half those times she just blasted me with all shotguns at the same time, just like this time. Otherwise she used traps or feints to corner me, then finished me off. So she had no idea how to handle a situation which I survived her first shotgun blasts. No, why? No, what? How do you think I feel about getting killed over and over? Honestly, not even I'd expect to find a bulletproof vest in that convenience store. Good job, gas station attendant, who is totally the one running the thing. It didn't protect me completely, though. It just kept my torso from being blown to pieces. My ribcage was shattered, and the internal injuries were undoubtedly fatal. Still had enough life in me to catch her off guard and fight back. Chami-chan, how do you want to die? Oh man, that was so satisfying. What'll I do next time, though? What would she do to me after this? Would this just continue forever? This might have been an actual dead end. Man, you're such a damn pain in the ass. We love Chimmy. Ended the line for me this time. Sorry. You can still breathe? Her consciousness faded at about the same moment as I delivered the final attack. The next loop came. I introduced the music through Saranaga and encountered Chimmy, just like always. This time was different though, she didn't have any weapons. Chimmy didn't attack me or run, she just vacantly looked at nothing in particular. Nice to meet you, Cherry Sawazawa-san. I sat down next to her. Nice to meet you, Haraki Fusashi-san. What a mechanical response. Saying each other's names on our first encounter had become common practice since we started sharing memories in the loops. However, neither of us said anything more this time. It was awkward. It felt like we just had a fight. Well, not like we hadn't. She did kill us 60 times. What is it? Are you mad? I don't have a reason to be. Yeah, but you are mad. The pain in the ass hurt a bit to hear. Hey, don't get too teary on me, and I fought back only once. There was no love in the way you killed me. No, that's a quote. Well, I didn't mean for there to be any love in it, and I don't know how I'd feel if you told me that your kills did. I know what you mean. I got so carried away. Killing you helped me forget the feeling of isolation. I can kill you countless times and do whatever to you, so I thought you'd forgive me always. That's just awful. Sorry. Last loop I realized that I really was being a pain in the ass for you, but you only saw this whole thing in terms of your own goal. What? It wasn't our goal to you. I'm just a side character to you, and all that matters to you is whether I'm useful or not. I only said that because I was just a bit pissed, that's all. That's a lie. You lie so much. I finally realized you scare me, even more than God. Damn. Being hurt, killed, or simply glared at by you scares me more than anything. That's how much I love you. Oh, they really do love each other. Let's fucking go. Best girl. You're scary because I love you, and I love you because you're scary. I want to kill you because I love you, and I love you so much I want to kill you. I know that's weird, but that's what I realized. I really do love you. But it's a feeling that's not mutual at all. Oh, it is. Kit likes Chammy. That wouldn't have changed even if I wasn't killing you, right? Stop with the I always say that before telling a lie. You're not going to eat? I have a bunch of allergies. Damn, what do you mean by I already tried it? It's just something random I thought up on the spot. You'd be surprised how convincing mysterious words can be. I'm Haraki Fusashi, a graduate student at Tokyo College. Hey, who are you really? A student, a doctor, a detective, or just a murderer? I don't know anything anymore. I love you, want to kill you, you scare me, I want to be closer to you, run away from you, become one with you. I want everything you are, but I can tell you don't want that. But I don't know what'll happen after that. I figured that maybe just killing you over and over would keep me happy, even if it scared me. I always thought this was hell. Maybe it's actually heaven? I pushed her into the river. What are you doing? No? Are we fucking? What's happening? What's happening? I mean, true. What are you doing? Kissing you? Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. The man did it. He did it. Let's fucking go. We won. We won, sheeple. We won. We won. We won. I'm excited. I'm happy. I meant the pushing. I just thought, what the hell's this girl who killed me dozens of times saying, and figured I had to get back at you somehow. Okay, repeat after me. I won't do what people don't want me to do. I won't do what people don't want me to do. Just so you know, I don't like being killed over and over, so find a better way to express your love. I'm sorry. Now I'll look back at all that as an expression of love, and I don't hate you. I like how insane you are. Really? I mean, no, I won't let you fool me. If that's true, why have you been calling me just Chammy after we started sharing memories? You noticed? I did. Because liking someone and dating them are two different things. I do like you, but I'd say our compatibility is the worst, or maybe too good. If we're together for long, we'll just become more and more insane, even after we get out of here. Well, there are societies where you can get by being a bit weird, but I think that we both should look for someone more normal. Don't you fuck this up, Haruaki. Don't you fuck this up. I'm punching Haruaki in the dick. And I kind of got close to someone else. Kako-san? Yeah, and Haru-chan. When did that happen? After you killed yourself? Oh well. Basically, you want to choose someone other than me, even though neither of them even know about you now. That's not it. It's just that I ended up providing them really awful deaths. After that, I've been left with feelings of guilt and a desire to at least make them happy next time around. It'd be insincere to choose you while I still feel that way, right? As insincere as pushing me down and kissing me. The kiss was payback for all the murders. Then, okay, fine. But really, my lips are enough for that? Yes. The taste was great. Yes. I remembered something. It's about the quiz you gave me. You're being a thirsty perv is a bad answer, you innocent little girl. You dummy. I'll kill you. I won't kill you. Date me already. Be my darling. And become my first. Do it, Haruaki. First off, you gotta fix everything that you did with Rikako and Haru. Fix all that stuff first. Date Chiemi. And if we don't date Chiemi, this game's a 6 out of 10 tops. Well, this is it. This is exactly what I wanted. I love this mix of happiness and embarrassment. It sustains me. Then, no. If I do that, you'll find happiness in this looping hell and stop wanting to leave it. I don't mind that. Like hell, that's not how you were at the start, right? The looping warps people. Even I was no exception a couple of times. He wasn't numbing any of this at least. True. Even if you can tough it out, dying hurts, and it's something no one wants. Imagine if this goes on forever and we keep dying over and over, maybe even at each other's hands. I'm not confident I can keep liking you in that scenario. You can't deny that either, can you? As long as the loop continues, we won't expire due to old age and just pile memory upon memory as we go. Imagine we end up hating each other. This would become a true hell. I don't want that. I really, really don't. What a crybaby. Shut up, psychopath. The murderer just called me a psychopath. Anyway, I'll try to stay honest from now on. I can't date you while counting on an escape that's not yet in sight. Thus I said it. Is this what it means to be heartbroken? Yeah. No, huh? Nope. Oh, sorry for killing you so many times. I got my payback. Sorry for killing you last time. It was just one time, but it was really cruel. I was so scared. Sorry. Sorry I've been a pain in the ass. Sorry for not being more considerate. I won't do that again. I do enjoy the attention you give me, though. Really? Really? You should really think about whether you want to kill or date me. You're right. I had so many dreams of murder that I forgot what's what. I want to forget everything. Let's go to the hanging pine and jump into Saranaga. Head first, like this. Why? Maybe the head trauma will help us forget what we don't want to remember. I like that. So, like a couple's suicide. We really might have been insane. Or maybe that could be said about everyone who was in love. You can't see the bottom from here. Yeah. Can we really die if we fall? Pretty sure we will. What if we fall on a flat part of the cliff, survive and suffer? Got any other ideas, Chimi-san? Well, maybe we'll fall on the same spot if we hug each other? You hopeless romantic. Huh? What's wrong? At this inappropriate moment, I realized something. I just had a thought that I should be the one at the bottom and take the brunt of the impact. Oh, you're gonna protect me? But then I won't hit my head and forget, right? That's not what I mean. It's not? Just figured since I can loop back if I die. That's not right. I mean, I'm the one who's gonna loop back. Exactly. I've been going through this while ignoring one of the main issues here. From my perspective, I obviously don't remember what happens after I die, and I always go back to the start after just a moment. But now that I think about it, the same is true for you, right? Because we don't have consciousnesses when we're dead. Yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, you told me about things that happened after I died, so I was like, huh? Exactly, we talked about loops in which either of us weren't present, but we still don't know the condition that actually causes the loop to reset. I thought that everything after my death just wouldn't happen. Same here, but we proved that's not how it works. And when does the world loop back? It has to be some sort of day, like our starting point, right? What's the longest you survived? The feast back then ended in 4 days, so it's probably 10 days or 2 weeks. Wait, hold on, I feel like I survived way longer than that. My longest is a week, but now that I think about it, it could happen a while after we die, like a year. Yeah, no matter how much time passes after we die, we won't be able to perceive it. Yep, for all we know, the world could be looping after billions of years at the end of the universe. That's not impossible, but I don't think that is quite that ridiculous. We know that someone is behind all this, and that they're creating a loop to bring back the monster. That's why it's best to believe the loop happens once they fail to do that. The one loop where Hiroki went away and they came back much later? Yeah, I know that. That's true. That means that if they failed, they would loop back even if we were alive. You ever had that happen? You didn't even know if you were dead or not, but for some reason you looped back? I did. When Kiri-san went out of control and I happened to survive, I left by bus and... Same here. It happened when I tried to move to Fujiyoshi and the officer chased me out. No, the same happened when we tried to escape by bike recently. I forgot about that. How mean. Of course, it could be that when we just crashed in the mist, but the memories aren't clear, and it's weird that we don't remember just this one thing. There must be another trigger to activate a loop. Yeah. This is a dream, right? Whose is it? The sheep had told me that the opponent was a dream wielder. The culprit tries to make their plot come to fruition in the dream. If they fail or die, they restart the dream. It's a clue. Can we get out? It won't be that easy, huh? I fell silent. And after looking at the void before me, what do you want to do? Keep trying? Yeah, but I do want to try falling here at least once. You masochist. The memories of all the murders I committed are heavy, and I don't want to keep repeating this. Even if I can't forget it all, I need a bit of change of pace. Crushing your skull for a change of pace, huh? What if you lose some important memories? I'm sure it'll be fine. The Haruaki-san and Chimmy I know can find out things like your sudden realization just fine. What if we forget that we know each other? That'd be good, actually. It'd be a chance for me to make a fresh start with you. This little masochist is pretty hung up on the idea of taking a dive in your embrace here. This might be my last chance for that. After all, I rejected her. Having a taste of the sentimentality behind a couple's suicide and actually surviving is pretty insincere. Pretty juicy, huh? I really like how your mind works in these situations. Really? You like it? I do. Do you love it from the bottom of your heart? Right before I was about to talk, my mouth was closed shut. Her lips cut my words short. Not bad. They kissed again! Let's fucking go! Gotta give her Haruaki-san. If we're gonna forget this, at least spoil me a bit. There's no guarantee we'd forget it. Oh well. I love you, Chimmy. I love you too much. Man, that sounds like a lie. Sorry I seem like a swindler. You really do. But I love you too, Haruaki-san. Then, yeah. This is the weirdest love story ever. With the hope of starting anew, forgetting all the nonsense, pain, hatred, and sadness, we innocently smiled at each other. And with shared hope, we jumped off the cliff. Distant light, key number 3. Bad ending number 3. Very normal. Let's watch the hint. You did it, Chief. You obtained key 3, one of the final keys. Let's move on to the summary and hint. At ending 3, a bunch happens in Chimmy-chan's mind. Here's the secrets surrounding Chimmy Serizawa were cleared up for the most part. Well, Haruaki Fusashi went through a rather harrowing experience, but he's gained an ally, so all good, I guess. By the way, key 3 unlocks that one. You'll have to jump far ahead, but next up is making peace with a stubborn one. Look forward to it. Well, that's enough for this time. Dying out of the hearty death. That's why he says, guess it was just a dream. Do I have enough time to do one more to make it to 3 hours? I'm fighting flies again and shit. Like, it's not going well. Is it the same sort of situation that happened last stream? You probably do. Can I ask a question? That I believe is non-spoilery. How much time is left if you had to estimate before we get to like the ending of the game? If you had to put a time to it. I'm asking this as I'm killing flies. Dude, there's fucking... I literally need to put the shot glass like right here next to my thing. Good chunk, but I don't know whether I could guess in a time span. Let me think. Okay. Because the reason I'm asking is because I'd like to like time it out, right? I'd like to plan it out, especially because I still work, and tomorrow tomorrow I should have a lot more time to stream. So I'm wondering if I should just go to 3 hours and then not stream after it so I could deal with the fucking last of these flies. Excuse me. Or because we're looking at 5 keys and then it's like the finale, right? I'm just curious. 3, 8. Okay, so hiding in the outhouse. So we're gonna get. Wait, we do have 8. Oh, 8 and 19. I thought was it. How long did that key take roughly? I'd assume they were about the same time span. I think looking at my time, it was about 35 to 40 minutes. So there's 4 keys left. 30, 40. So probably 34 sounds about right for a key. Okay. And does that include like the ending itself, which I imagine the ending becomes I me just scroll through this really fast. Some are longer, some are shorter, but 30 minutes seems right-ish. The ending is longer, though, I think. Definitely on the later end of that span. Okay, so this ending be later. So, let me think. If I were to do one more key, then we have 3 keys left. Those 3 would take anywhere from 2 hours to an hour and a half to hit the main end before Revelations. Okay. So we're going to do one more key, and then the next stream that we do, which will be tomorrow for Raging Loop, will be the final Raging Loop stream before Revelations, and then I have a whole bunch of games I got to get through before we get to Revelations. So, especially with October coming up, so we'll finish the game. We have to get through October, and then November we'll start Revelations. I think that's the plan. And preferably these fucking flies can go away. I found out I'm not an idiot for the flies, though. It's just our house. We killed all the spiders. And spiders are supposed to kill the flies. So, all right. So we'll do one more. And then tomorrow will be the finale of Raging Loop. And we will not stop streaming Raging Loop until we get to Revelations. Tomorrow. Because luckily I have more time, so I don't have to worry about like sleeping before work or anything. Like, I should be good. So select trap. So let's see. So all or nothing. Insane maternity, righteousness. Okay, so this is after we kill. I'm trying to like remember everything. So we're a wolf now. We become the wolf. We convince Haru and Kari through instigation. Who do we kill? Shiemi killed themselves at this rate. Select trap. Just want to see you. Oh, this is talking to Konzo about Haru and tricking him. Ask Konzo about Haru. So let's remember everything. That was right. I just remembered. Did my memories carry over in a weird way because the method from back then was weird? Well, then again, this wouldn't be the first time my memories didn't carry over properly. Maybe I should have counted myself lucky for remembering it all. I had tons of things to think about. About the beast in the village? The giant monster? The dream enveloping Fujiyoshi as well as the looping the sheep had told me about. But this wasn't the time to worry about that. The old man before me was the one who'd survived the past tragedies in Fujiyoshi. With the old wolf guy being a pain to talk to, I had to rely on him instead. But how was I supposed to talk to him? It looked like there was just one way. It's me. I'm a wolf. Upon hearing that, "You're a wolf?" He didn't take out his gun. His expression showed nothing but total confusion. I know, from your experience, wolves never reveal themselves. But of course the humans don't lie, so you can't even imagine why anyone would say something so suicidal. Got it. He finally pointed his gun at me, but his lateness told me just how hesitant he was. I controlled the pace of the conversation. I revealed this because I'm someone who grew up outside the village. I'm not bound by God's curse. Not yet, anyway. There? You don't understand? Okay, well just keep in mind that the feasts from before were isolated and didn't have any outsiders. The experience doesn't apply to a feast with outsiders. Don't be so concerned, though. I mean no harm. I sat down on the ground, extended my hurted leg forward. Shoot me if you want. Though I'm sure you're aware that a murder without the majority's approval is against the rules, even if it doesn't break the 1 per day law. I confirmed that during my looping with Chiemi. Get to the point. There's no point. I just feel bad for you. Huh? I had to apologize to the Kuryoi-san and Haru-chan of this timeline. It must be awful for a grandfather to have to kill his granddaughter. I wouldn't want to be the only survivor of such an awful situation. It's too heavy a burden. That's why I came here to talk to you. What'd you just say? It must be awful for a grandfather to have to kill his granddaughter. He didn't fire, but he sent a solid kick flying at my solar plexus, knocking the wind from my lungs. You're a wolf. You gotta be lying. If that's the case, I wouldn't have revealed myself at all. Well, I understand, though. I'm a wolf, and all I'm saying is true. Then why just say it? Will you get it if I say this? If you don't want to kill your granddaughter, kill everyone else. Another kick. It came from my face and hit my head, making me see stars. I'll hang all the wolves, even my granddaughter. Yeah, I thought you said that. I don't mind if you choose that. But are you really sure? I'm putting my life on the line here, and it's only because I want to open up to you. So could you please respond in kind? I just want to understand before I die. That's why I want to ask you something. Specifically about your experience in the previous feasts, and whether you'll sacrifice the laws that have supported you or your granddaughter. Please tell me, Kanzo Makishima-san. Can't trust you. Of course he couldn't. But he couldn't ignore or kill me either. Why not sit down? I can't move right now and we still have time. He silently sat down right before me, cross-legged. Damn, ballsy. The conversation was slow and sporadic. He asked if I and Horichan really were wolves over and over again. Well, what he was mostly conflicted about was whether or not to harm his granddaughter after all. Thus I said this. I'm relieved. What? You're acting conflicted about this. Horichan didn't hesitate to murder the moment she became a wolf. Really? Yes, Kori-san too. I was against it and I almost died because of it. Anyone who becomes a wolf ends up a wolf to the core. Even Haru? Why? You were human in the other feasts, right? Can you tell me more about them? Thus he started talking. He participated in 2 feasts in the past. This was his 3rd. But as far as he knew, there was another feast before that. It happened about 60 years ago, shortly after he was born. The mist came and many died. It coincided with World War II. Jesus Christ. Youths from both Kamafujiyoshi and Yasumizu were drafted to the battlefield, so most of the ones who died in the feast were the elderly, women, and children. After that, Yasumizu, which once had dozens of people, quickly deteriorated. Deaths weren't the only cause, some just fled. I don't know much about that time, but the elders said that it wasn't supposed to happen. What do you mean? No idea, they just said that the wolf should have never actually appeared. His explanation was so full of holes that I didn't really understand. However, it seemed like until the event during the war, the Feast of the Yomi Purge wasn't considered a paranormal event. Most couldn't believe that the Okami had actually appeared. It shocked everyone. They began to think that they'd angered the mountain. Some of the elderly believed that the Fujiyoshi blood spilled in the war had awakened the wolves. It happened just 60 years ago, but it greatly spread the darkness of the local superstition. Apparently something that happened in Yasumizu at that time helped too. Kanzo-san just said that people were killed, and I couldn't tell whether Kanzo-san didn't know the details or if he found it so detestable he didn't want to say it. Whatever the case, the main topic of conversation happened a while after that. It was the other 2 feasts, the one he'd participated in. He said that there were no mists for a whole 40 years after the feast in the war. The war ended during this time, and though some tried to fix it, Yasumizu was in an awful state. People died, the workforce was lost, poverty became worse, some still living went to work away from home, causing the place to deteriorate even further. However, Kanzo-san felt that the main cause of this awful state was the darkness of superstition clouding the locals' hearts. Kanzo-san could remember how when he was young, everyone just worked the fields with cloth over their faces, constantly afraid of something. Those cloths were an item used in the mountain Shinai festival. The purpose was to prevent eye contact with Yomibito. Now Kanzo-san himself used it to keep the sun out of his eyes to prevent his game from sensing his vision. At the core, it was an unreasonable tool born of superstition. Okay. Anyway, as the village became more and more unreasonable, the mist came. It happened about 15 years ago. At that time, Tei-san and Shimi, who was still in her first year of elementary school, were participating in an event at Kamafujiyoshi, so they ended up avoiding the incident. The 2 village heads who were in Yasumizu right now weren't here to begin with, while Takumi-san was already an adult working away from home. Haru-chan was born just a year before, and since her parents were on vacation, she also avoided the tragedy. They were on a trip away from Yasumizu with a small child? My son's wife was a teacher from a nearby town. She went back to her parents. I see. I'm impressed he decided to marry someone from out of Yasumizu. She was pretty much an outsider, huh? Some complain about it, especially Teiba. You weren't against it? The opposite. I'd rest easy knowing they could leave Yasumizu at this time of year. That was the only time they'd ever escaped, though. Anyway, the only ones who experienced the feast were still alive were Kanzo-san and the old wolf guy. It was a feast like this one. No one wanted to hang anyone the first day, then the wolves killed someone. You had a fake for every guardian receiver. No one trusted anyone, and they voted. Go against the rules and get the corruption. Some tried. They died in the mountains or because they didn't shelter. This feast killed the Higuchi heir, Aribe's, Yasu's, and Yoshi's dad. I heard of that. He was killed by the wolves on the first day. He was either wise enough for the wolves to see him as a threat, or they just hated him. Both were likely, but I didn't care about that now. Why would a village head come to Yasumizu? Came by himself to make a proper watering hole. The Higuchi family fought over who'd get this dirty job. It coincided with the feast. Was it planned? Many get sent here at this time of year. You're one too. I see, but wasn't it unusual to invite outsiders at this time of year? That's true. It's also the first time a journo came to Yasumizu. The fact that outsiders were invited at all was way more suspicious than the timing of it. Anyway, about 10 people died in the feast, and Yasumizu lost a third of its population. It was awful. Kanzo-san was just a human without a guardian. Half of the participants were old people who'd either experienced the last feast or were in the war. Excuse me. Naturally, they could make awfully cruel decisions, and some tried to go against the rules, leading to severe punishments at the hands of the corruption. I couldn't do anything. I just hid from the scary stuff and didn't say a thing. The eldest there told me to watch and learn, because I'd be the one running Yasumizu if they died. He got brutalized by the wolves soon after. Who were the wolves? I only found out one of the three. And the last one we hanged was a girl about as old as Toru, his son. Remembering it still gives me the chills. As she got the noose on her and fell, that well-behaved girl cursed us with the face of a demon. I knew that feeling well due to all my looping, but I couldn't really say it. After that, we finished up the feast. The old fart's been like that back then too. The old wolf guy. When they came back, I told Teiba, my son, and everyone else that there had been an accident, but there was nothing to worry about. Little Chi was scared and got all quiet for a while. She even asked me to go with her to the bathroom at night. Takumi came back right after, and Iguchi's wife was sent here with Yasu. She had Yoshi in her. That was the first feast. If I may ask, did something happen to Yasumizu before the feast began? What do you mean? Anything big enough for the village heads to take notice. A few years before that, there'd been an illness here. It was hell. Dozens died, and it was on the verge, too. What illness was it? I don't know, gave everyone bad diarrhea, though. Is that relevant? What about the next feast? Maybe it's relevant, who knows? 8 years ago, after a bad rain, the mist came again. It started after the landslide in the Nosato construction site buried some people. I already knew some things about that feast. During it, the children, Teisa and Kori-san, were in Kamafujiyoshi, and it killed Haruchan's parents. Jin-san, one of the survivors, mentioned something about the badger, and Haruchan somehow survived the mist. Kanzo-san added more information to that. Takumi-san had been working away from home again. Kanzo-san was the crow. He was absolutely certain that his son, Toru Makishimashi, was a wolf. My son said he was the crow. Tomiko, his wife, cried as my son and I shouted at each other, saying that the other's a wolf. In the end, there was a vote. He's the one who ended up hanging. He kept saying it until the end. He said he was the real crow and that I was a wolf. There wasn't a bit of lies in his eyes. If I wasn't the crow, I wouldn't have believed him. Back then, only the elders voted for him, and it was really close. I almost got hanged. And someone got brutalized that night. And Tomiko, thinking that I was the wolf, tried to kill me at night and got the corruption because she didn't shelter. The next morning, the mist cleared. What, it cleared that although you didn't do anything after the brutalization? Haruchan's parents' final moments sparked some emotions for me, but I had to comment on that. Was it really a brutalization? Are you sure the wolves didn't mess up and suffer the corruption? Nope, it was a clean axe kill. How many wolves did you kill until then? Out of the 3 wolves, only my son. I was the crow, so I knew. The mist cleared with 2 wolves still alive? It was supposed to be impossible. The feast rules didn't allow that. Wolves could only die during the day, and since one of them killed someone during the night, the wolves had to be alive. Yet the mist cleared despite that? That was supposed to be impossible. Unless the person they killed was a wolf, and then he died. So that means his wife was also a wolf? Or maybe it was unnatural to assume that the mist, a natural phenomenon, was directly linked with the feast, a man-made one. If the mist was actually somehow controlled by humans, maybe it wasn't unlikely for it to clear due to some mistake? It would make sense if that happened this time. It would also explain the Gen-san thing. If he'd been a wolf and accidentally survived, it would solve the contradiction to Kanzo-san, a human still being alive, while a wolf was able to leave that crucial bit of info. If there was a way to control the mist, it probably wasn't linked to the control of the loop. Still, maybe it'd be useful. I'd keep this in mind. What about Haruchan? I only know what I heard. God, my throat. She might have entered Yasumizu the evening my son was hanged, but no one saw her. Oh, the mist cleared after that, right? Mm-hmm. And the mist cleared because of God? So the mist ended there. I called Takumi to help clean up. Then Haruchan became weird. I told her it was an accident. Then her parents got lost in the mist and fell off a cliff. I couldn't say it. I couldn't tell her that her dad was a wolf and that her mom got torn apart, right? Kazu-san was unusually talkative. The strange wolf before him made the rough, silent old man reveal things he wanted to take to his grave. You were right to do so. Still, the girl lost her parents, so she got weird. Wolf possession, right? That's one thing. She also been a good, cheerful girl, and it made her all edgy and selfish. She started wearing those clothes and still carried around that bottle she had with her at the time. I'm not sure about that. I don't know about the possession, but I feel like the changes in her behavior and tastes are just in your imagination. Maybe it's only happening because you built a wall between you and her and she just did the same. Don't act like you know. I do. We're both wolves. I saw glimpses of her true personality. You'd be surprised how honest she is. I must call it greedy. She's a good, honest girl who takes in whatever she hears and matures like the teen she is. I'd call her talented just for that. I can honestly call her a good girl, a good person. If it weren't for the situation asked to be in a relationship with her, she's that charming. Then there's you. You were afraid that she might find out the truth, so you distanced yourself from her and refused to give her anything. Right, Kanzo-san? You didn't get mad at me. He just cast his eyes down. This wasn't the energetic, strong hunter I knew, but an old man caught in the throes of regret. What a shame. It was so sad that this would become nothing but a dream. This exchange that could perhaps remove the wall between the old man and his granddaughter would be gone, unless he remembers things. Oh well, I'd have to solve it all anyway. I'd try to fix their family relations too. It wasn't necessary for Haruchan and I to be wolves for my words to resonate with him. And of the 3 wolves, only my son. I was the crow, so I knew. She started wearing those clothes and still carried around that bottle she had with her at the time. Also solved a few more mysteries. This was a good time to end it. Now, Kanzo-san, you need to go back. Everyone's worried. Give me your shoulder, I'll take you. What are you saying? Your only choices are killing the wolves or betraying the humans and killing them. That's why you can only kill me or leave me here and kill everyone else. Right? Huh? I know full well that Haruchan is important to you, but so are the others, right? If you kill Kaori-san, Haruchan, and I, you'll win with minimal casualties. By vote or by bullet, I'm sure you could do it. The Ribe brothers, Takumi-san, the elders, and the village heads are blameless here. That's why you have to decide right now. Don't act like you care about whether the feast happens today. Well, I know that you'll suffer the corruption if you don't get the others to agree. But I'm sure that you'll choose to massacre either the humans or the wolves, even if it means getting the corruption. Dying for Haruchan is an option, and so is killing Haruchan but surviving yourself. And I know you won't pick either option. I don't get it. What are you after? Would the sheep get mad at me if I just said I just wanted to die quickly and naturally move on to the next time? That was the absolute truth. Fair fucking point, dude. But the thing I really wanted to say now was, Kanzo Makishima-san, I need you to be a good person. Please do what you believe is right. With that done, I closed my eyes. After a long, long period of hesitation, I heard a metallic sound come from his rifle. His breathing was already steady. He'd made his decision. It'd be bad for me if I just died here and there was no loop. However, I did find it sad that this man's resolve would become nothing but a dream. Well, that was a lot shorter than 30 minutes, but that got me up to 3, so... Damn. That's depressing. You did it, Chief. You obtained key 19, one of the final keys. Let's sum it up and get right to the next hint. Bad ending 22, killed by Kanzo's first and last shot. The history of Yasumizu was cleared up here, mostly about the previous 2 feasts. Our secret was alluded to as well. This information is necessary to combat the evil that lurks in Yasumizu. That's a bit of a grueling story. Anyway, if you haven't gone yet, why not try going to 5? Yeah, first man. You can open the lock there with key 20, the first of the keys you got, and take a breather by having a nice chat there. Okay, that's it for this time. Die another hearty death. Man, there's so much to learn. I didn't get a chance. First off, let's go to 5 because otherwise I'm going to just completely forget like everything. So, out of pastime. Oh, we're going to talk to Hisako now? Interesting. Okay. So first off, I want to save. I think this is a good stopping point, and that way next time we can go through it. But I also want to read the keys. I didn't get a chance to read 3, and now, just like me, Chimmy also loops back in time whenever she dies, retaining her memories. Her heart has been wounded and twisted through her maddening cycles of death and rebirth, but she hasn't completely broken yet. She made me realize that the trigger for the loop isn't either of our deaths. In hindsight, there should be times I looped where my cause of death was vague. If I reconsider the conditions, I may yet catch a glimpse of the mastermind. Hunter's Confession. By revealing my truth self to Kanzo-san, I managed to have a heart-to-heart with him. As a survivor of 2 previous feasts, the most important thing he told me was, though the feast wasn't over, the mist cleared. This implies 2 things. First, the clearing of the mist can't always be perfectly controlled, and second, that there was definitely a wolf who survived a feast in Yasumizu. Also, I may have grasped some hints to the reason Haruchan entered Yasumizu 8 years ago and returned alive. Intriguing. But yeah, that's gonna be it. So cool stuff. So, just to kind of wrap everything up, tomorrow, Thursday, we are 1000% finishing the main run of Raging Loop before Revelations. And I want to be abundantly clear because I'm trying to get better at this. I'm trying to get better at 100%ing the games that we've been playing, as seen on the Discord. I will come back and do Revelations immediately. By immediately, I mean in November, because October is approaching and I want to play through a bunch of horror games in October. So, after we do the main run and finish that tomorrow, and I don't care how long it takes, I'm going to just keep streaming until we finish it. We will play the Revelations version of Raging Loop starting in November. I just want to make that abundantly clear. That way we can get to some more of the games that I need to get through. So just want to let everyone know about that for those who've been enjoying this. I've been really enjoying the game. I feel really bad that this took so long to get through. Like, I think it's been like a month or two since we started playing this, and due to so much going on in my life, it's caused me to have to put it aside, to not being able to handle it, to questioning whether I should just stop doing visual novels because of some things happening. But I'm glad I haven't stopped playing this and reading through it. It's really, really good. I thought I watched a video. Oh, I got that. This fucking good. Originally was obscenely long compared to many other visual novels, to be fair. But I like reading. Like, I went to college for English, and I wanted to be an English teacher. And I love reading literature and books, and I want to get back into reading. So I love visual novels. I don't mind playing this long periods of time. It's just, there's also some other games that I want to get to that have come out or are coming out that I've promised to play when they came out. In Graveyard Keeper, Raging Loop, and Binding of Isaac Repentance, 3 absurdly long games that have been played at the same time. So that's the reason for that. But the way I want to end off the stream is by commenting on a video I saw a while back that was around the time I stopped streaming Raging Loop for a little bit. And it's from a content creator I really, really enjoy watching. I watch pretty much all of his videos. But I don't want to say who it is because I don't want to, like, slander them or anything. Because what they said, I know rings true for a lot of people, but I think I can counter that. And they had a video that was a sponsored segment that they said they enjoyed the game, but the reason they don't play games like it because it had a lot of story is because no one wants to watch a game where you just read constantly. They just want to watch a game that has actual gameplay, and while they want to experience the story through the gameplay, just reading bores people. And I disagree with it. Back then, right when I watched the video, I agreed with it, and I got really depressed and did not help my mental state at all. And I know that's untrue, but like when I heard it, especially from like kind of a bigger creator that I look up to, it got in my head, and with a lot of other stuff going on, it just really made me sad because I really love visual novels and I want to play a lot more of them in the future. I have a list that I've been slowly increasing, but I think that there are proper ways on how to do visual novels and how to stream or make videos on visual novels, and it made me think about a lot of things. First off, I want to say that I think I do fucking fantastic when it comes to reading through visual novels. I wish I could do better at voices, even though my voice is very, very hoarse right now. I wish I was better at doing a lot of the voices, but I also have to whisper a lot of the times because since I work during the day, and by the time I do stream typically is when my roommates are asleep and I don't want to wake them up, I can't be super loud. But I would love to change in the future if I ever get a chance to have like a completely soundproof room where I know they won't wake up. I will 1000% be louder and make voices. That would be sick. But another thing I would change about this is I would, and I might do this for Revelations where I don't read all the stuff that we have seen and just more so react to it. Or do like react to more of what's being said. Like I feel like I read through a whole lot and then just kind of keep going and just forget that I'm supposed to kind of like put my own 2 cents in it. So maybe I wanted to do that a little bit more. But I do think I handle the reading aspect of just any game really, really well. Everyone loves to preach that they know how the one true way to do things extremely like no one knows. It's all individual and contextual. Exactly. No, I agree. I absolutely agree. Like, everyone loves different things, and I get that. In my personal opinion, I think I knock anything that has to do with reading out of the park because I feel like I'm very fluent when it comes to reading and very easy to understand, though I think I read a little bit faster than most people. I think a good example of this, not just has been Raging Loop, but also Danganronpa, where compared to the 4 of us that are playing through Danganronpa at the same time, I'm the only one who can consistently read all the dialogue without messing up and do it pretty quickly while everyone else takes their goddamn time. So I think I'm glad that at least I feel confident now again that whenever we do visual novels in the future, not just Raging Loop but others, I think it's a good to listen to because you understand everything, right? Say for visual novels, I think it depends a lot on what the visual novel is and does. Something that allows for a this discussion like Raging Loop tends to be more appealing because it's cool to see others go through and think about it. For straightforward play made that seem so much. Exactly, it does depend on the visual novel. It's why a lot of people like Danganronpa, which I would absolutely consider Danganronpa a visual novel. I think there's like probably a subsection for it too, but it's definitely a visual novel. And why I liked the concept that we did for Danganronpa of having 2 new players with 2 people who already know the game experiencing it and talking about the discussion. But I've alluded to this on the Discord, and there's going to be like a YouTube update video that also alludes to this. But if I have to compare what sort of stream series is better, which I really shouldn't compare my own content, but I'm going to do it anyway, between Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, and Raging Loop, I think Raging Loop is a lot better. Eons better. Because you have me playing this game, talking about all the different things that are going on, reacting to things in real time, and also like putting in my 2 cents on how I would do things differently, especially when it comes to the discussions, being the wolf, being the snake, being the bystander and teaching people how to play the game. I feel like that's been done really well in my opinion. And I'm tooting my own horn here, but I think I deserve that because I've also been calling it, like, predicting a lot of stuff that's happening. Paradise Killer, I do have Paradise Killer, and I do want to get to that. So yeah, like, I do want to do that one too. But I feel like I knocked this one out of the park. Compare that to Danganronpa, where you have me, who's controlling everything, and is really into the game, but you have 3 people who are not paying attention or doing other things at the same time, that they're not really intrigued on the game, and there's not been any discussion about the game too much, only when I put forth the question and one of them who's been paying at least a little bit of attention thinks it through. Which is baffling to say because numbers wise, like, Danganronpa gets more views than Raging Loop, but I think that's a fucking travesty because I think Raging Loop should be... People should play Raging Loop more, people should experience this game. I'm excited to see the Revelations portion because I've never seen a visual novel have like a full New Game Plus that's the same story but more stuff. Like, that's really cool to me. But I would say that the Raging Loop streams are significantly better than the Danganronpa streams. But I'm so critical of my own streams about stuff I want to do, stuff I would do better, stuff I would like kind of more so control during the stream. So, but I do have Paradise Killer. I think I got Paradise Killer right when it came out, and I actually do want to add that to my stream. Cybernetic, I know you're not on the Discord, but just to kind of let you know, like, the next visual novel we're technically doing is Needy Streamer Overload, specifically because I heard that it's an extremely dark visual novel game. So I really wanted to give it a try. But I think like the path I'm doing right now is Needy Streamer Overload, the game that Blaze recommended, that is Fatal 12, I think is what it's called, Fatal 12. And then I was going to look for the next one, so I might do Paradise Killer after that. I also have Paranorman Sight because Travis, mod and friend, Travis bought me Paranorman Sight for my birthday this past year, so maybe I need to also get to playing that too. There's a lot of games, like I said, a lot of games coming up, but I am planning on finishing stuff and got everything planned. So Anyway, originally I was deciding on doing another stream after this. That's not going to be the case because the backlog is forever real. Yep, but all I do in life is stream and do my full-time job, which I found out. I've been told I'm doing a fucking banger job. I get the feeling I'm going to get in trouble on Friday, but that remains to be seen because today was a wild day, but that's a story for a different time. I was going to do another stream, but if I were to do another stream, I'm only going to get 2 hours of sleep before work, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go pass out. We'll finish Raging Loop tomorrow, the first run, and then we might do a second stream depending on how long it goes tomorrow, so we'll see. But with that, I thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed the stream. I hope to God that the concoction kills the rest of these flies, so that way I'm not like swatting and they're not landing on my nose and shit. It's annoying. But you all have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, and or evening. Of course, my name is Katafi. I'll see you all next time for some more Friday gaming. See you later. Peace. Bye, everyone.